I think I'm live. I don't know yet. I'll have to getting things out on the social medias. Let's make sure this is all good. Think we're in business. Looks like we are in business. Okay, good. James, hello. Kyle, hello. The BK dot. Hopefully you got the today's been interesting. Today has been interesting for sure. To say today has not been now. I'm choosing my words wisely. I'm not saying today has been a train wreck. I'm not saying today has been profitable. All I'm saying for people is today, I'm sure, has been interesting in one way or another. I'm not quite sure there is a middle ground. It seems like one of those days where you're probably smiling ear to ear. You're feeling great, or maybe you're down in the dumps. I don't know. Hi, please check QBTS for me. I went in at 690, wanting to ride it. Well, why are you wasting your time on a stock? Why are you doing that? None of you. Why are you trading stocks? You don't like to use your money wisely? What's up with that? Good morning, Spinnerman. Hello, John. Yeah, John, exactly. I want to say, or I got a huge margin call and just jumped. Okay, all right, Hooch. It was mistaken. Well, you got in at 690. You said. What'd you say this thing was? QBTS. You get on in at 690. I went in at 690, wanted to ride in a short uptrend. Oh, so in other words, you chased it. Well, where's your stop loss at? None of you? That's my first question. Where's your stop loss? Round two for the longs, cup in hand. We'll see. Hey, Emmy. So you got in at 690, which was right here. So you're close to the top. You didn't quite buy the top, but where's your stop loss? I'm trying to come up through this area right here. I'll wait until more people get here, and then I'll kind of walk through my day. But my day was wild. Yeah, sorry, I meant it was a major mistake. I'm new. Okay, well, your other mistake is you don't seem to have a stop loss. Okay, yeah, you don't. If you don't have a stop loss, that's another mistake and potentially a very bad mistake. So I would figure out an area where you're like, if it hits this price, I need to just get out. Yes, it may still be for a loss, but losses are part of trading, so I just need to get out. And then after you do that, never look at stocks again. Turn your attention to Pam's plant. Because Pam's plant, it's way better than what you're doing. But yes, now would be figure out a level where if it hits an area, I need to just be out. And it's okay if it's for a loss because losing is part of trading. There's no shame. There's nothing like that. That's just literally part of trading. You will lose, but that's why you want to just manage risk. So you got to figure out a level right now that you would say, okay, if it hits that price, I got to just get out. But yeah, on the bright side, you were close to buying the top right there, but not quite the top. But yeah, figure out a stop loss, set it, and see what happens, and then make sure this is the last stock you ever trade. Stick around because yes, there are better ways to go about. Assuming you want to be a day trader, there are better ways to go about it. Oh boy, are we going to get a push up through? We're right at Friday's close, the overnight high, that pink line. Price is just right here. Are we going to get another explosion up? That is the question right now. Are we going to push through? Seemingly yes, as of right now. There's the push. Let's see if we can. I have no idea where that's an old one. Let me just get rid of that. I don't know what that's in reference to. I would say the near term area of resistance right now, right here at, what is that? 17,700. So right there, I would say is the near-term key battleground. Going back through the history of things, you can see right there acted as resistance a couple times. Right there acted as resistance. So does it act as resistance again? We'll see, but that's the next, I would say the next price target and then next battleground. So for the people that were buying this breakout here, I can't speak for everybody obviously, but probably they're aiming for right here to maybe lock in some gains off the table and then If they can get the break and more continuation, that would be just kind of gravy on the cake. What's going on with Take Profit Trader? I've delayed data on my eval accounts and contacted them. They are not responding. Just check TrustBot 2. And what do you mean delayed data? There we go. Profit target hit right there for some people. Now it's just a question of can it get some break through that resistance. Do you mean the delayed data like back where it tells you how like your day's going? Or are you talking about delayed data like on your platform? Because if it's on your platform, like if it's on this, so for example, Tradeovate, if it was on this, then that would not be a take profit issue. That would be a Tradeovate issue. On Tradeovate, okay, well that's not take profit. That's Tradeovate. And on a day like this, I can see I've heard some reports of things getting a little sketchy, but like all kidding aside, all exaggeration aside, this is like historic action. So when things get this crazy, I mean, yeah, things can get a little squirrely. But yeah, that's not Take Profit Trader. That's Tradeovate. It's been 1 week. I'm not quite sure what's been 1 week. You have delayed data on your eval accounts, and I contacted them. They are not. Yeah, what do you mean delayed? Yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure what exactly you're asking. As a reminder, usually I do this a little bit sooner, but if you've been here before, please hit that like button. We hit some record-breaking territory last week. Got up as high as I think 165 likes on stream. We hit another goal of 50 likes within 30 minutes. So if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, please hit that like button. Now, if you're new, welcome. Great to have you. No need to hit the like button because I realize for you don't know if you're going to like this or not. But if you've been here before and you do know you're going to like, make sure to hit that like button. And I'll go through my day here in a little bit. We had some good news. We had some bad news. We had some ironic news. Just kind of just how things go at times. But yeah, we'll wait for a little bit more people before I hop into my day. And we'll ideally do some trading. But even on this account, which was supposed to be the live stream account, there was just too much good action. Where like I couldn't just turn it down. Like no, I gotta wait. You just had to take advantage of it. So that's what I did. So yes, what was supposed to be the live stream account today. Those are where I'm at right now. But like I said, we'll go through my day a little bit because there's some good education in today's video too. Hi, can you go over SQQ please? We'll see what happens. I can try, but and just as a reminder, I do take requests, and I'll do a request right away for $5 super chats. But if not, I just don't make a promise. Like I'm not saying, Jana, I won't do it. I'm just not going to do it right this second because I kind of want to watch this price action, see how it goes. But I will do it if there's a $5 super chat. That's a way to ensure that it happens, and it happens right away. The flip side of just not doing a super chat, which is totally fine. It's just that, I may not do it. And even if I do it, it may not be until 20 minutes after you request it. So that's just kind of... I switched to MES. Better PA. Yeah. Nikki NFT. I think that's a new person, but I like the name. Nikki NFT. All right, so now we got a potential back test and go here. Back test of the former area of resistance, which I would call this kind of a resistance zone. But now when resistances are broken, they can tend to act as support. So does it come down in this general area, find some support and go? No guarantees, but if you told me that was your trade plan, I would not call you crazy. I would not say you're acting like a degenerate that's just doing random things. I would say, hey, I see the logic. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. That's why risk management matters, but I at least see the logic. Yeah, overall, this line was hit. It was broken. Not the most awe-inspiring breakout. Hey, Steve. I'm doing so much better with the account. I'm up. Booyah. Well, first off, thank you for the super chat. Very appreciated. And remind me, are you doing the 50K account or 25? I guess maybe you're doing something else. I want to say the 50, but I'm not. I guess I'd be lying if I said I could remember that perfectly. 50K, good job, good job. So just as a friendly reminder, remember the most you can make on that during the test phase is $1,500. So you still have wiggle room, but just don't go over 15. Oh, Frank, join the inner circle. Fantastic. Have you introduced yourself in there yet? Awesome. You know, Frank, you're not going to believe me because this was just, it just seems like it's too like, oh, you're just saying this. But I swear, like I said, if you don't believe me, fine. I totally understand. But I had one of your comments screenshotted that I want to do a video on eventually. And I was like, you know, I don't think I've really asked Frank. I haven't really pressed Frank like, dude, you really should join. I think you'd fit in very nicely. I think it would be very helpful. I should, next time I see him on the live stream, I'll have to try to remember to do that. And then this morning, boom, you said you just joined. Crazy. It's good stuff. So yeah, right now, this is the key battleground. It's been broken, but this now level has kind of proven to be one of those tricky areas. Tricky in the sense of, you know, it's not like the price can't break above it, but right there the price did break above it, but then it was one of those like fake ones. Just kidding, and back down it went. But to be fair, back down it went. It's not like it violated any supports or anything like that. So in all actuality, right now we're basically getting a little bull pennant, bull flag. So if we use that as the, let me do this real quick. So that is our area of resistance, and then if we just use this area as our area of support down here, and then we kind of look at it right there. And then for you golfers, got to make it visual for you. Let's put the golf hole down here. So here is our bull pennant pattern. Now, as always, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going up. But would people be shocked? Would people's mind be blown if it came up here, broke through there, and then got some continuation? No, I don't think anybody's minds would be blown if that were to occur. But really just a question right now of how do you feel about that bull pennant? If you're liking it, well then, yeah, maybe you're thinking of going long. If you're like, no, Clay, I see X, Y, or Z, which makes me lose confidence in it. Totally cool. Then you're probably not thinking to go long. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you're even thinking of going short. But let's get those annotations out of the way. And let's see. So it's not, once again, look at that. Knocking on the door of that, I don't even know what color that, teal? I don't know what color that is. But that line right there. And then the trend line of the pattern itself. So yes, being very stubborn right now at that area. But can the price get some continuation? Can it get some push up through there? So that's kind of currently what I'm seeing here with the NQ. So we'll see. There. All right, it's pushing through now. So step one, complete. It's been broken. Step two, will it get continuation? Will it get continuation? So it's always good when step one, because right, you can't get continuation if the thing never breaks out in the first place. So step one complete. Got the breakout. Will we get continuation? So I'm going to go ahead. So I could see people that are playing this maybe have that first target up there. Now, if you're scalping it, for all we know, maybe scalpers, they're already green. Because, I mean, these movements are so crazy that's plenty of move for a scalper to potentially already be green. But if people are not a scalper and they're looking for bigger movements, well, then yeah, they're not quite out of the woods yet. So this is always one of these situations where those people that scalp, if this thing keeps on, if it does go up there and hit that target right there, they're going to be saying, oh, man, why did I scalp? I left so much on the table. But if this thing rolls back over, the scalpers are going to be like, yes, I'm smart. And then the people that were looking for this as a price are going to be like, I should have just scalped. But that's hindsight, right? So you gotta just pick what you think. Pick the management strategy. Sometimes for me, I'm a scalper. I need to be in and out. Other times I'm like, all right, let's play ball. Let's see if it wants to work a little bit. And so, I mean, I encourage people to have multiple strategies, multiple ways to approach things. So as of now, it's looking like the scalpers are probably starting to kind of regret the choice to scalp. Like, I probably should have held. But again, depending on how people that want to see bigger movements, have they taken any profits off the table? I don't know. Everybody's going to be different. But I can see that being a profit target area up around there. That's ironic timing. I felt it was time. Doing well here, although the link to take me to the chat room didn't work for me. I think it's... what happened on it? It could be a firewall thing. Go ahead. If you keep having problems though, Frank, drop me an email. And this goes to everybody. If anybody has questions or anything for me, here's my email. Go ahead and send me an email if you keep having that issue. But yeah, it seems like it's plausible that it might be a firewall then on your laptop that's doing it. Just out of curiosity, Could somebody let me know? Because I just read an email and somebody said like this link is not working. Could somebody click on that and just let me know? Does Take Profit Trader site pop up? Oh no, 2 Franks. Yeah, I know, Frank. It's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. All right, yeah, we're getting up. We got a good amount of viewers right now, so I'll go over my day again. If you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Works for you, Pickles? Okay. Thank you for checking that. Yeah, okay. I'm not quite sure what that. So I'll have to ask them what do they mean it's not working. Thanks, Frank. Kind of curious to see. Now we have this scenario of is this going to be a back test and go? Does it come down here, find some support, and then go? Maybe. It worked Saturday night. Oh yeah, Red, I saw that you got how did you take any trades today, Red? I'm ready to sign up for a prop firm account. There are some Reddit posts saying TPT charged you $135 a month for data on the pro account. Is that true? No, it's not true. Nope, that's not true. Pro accounts, there are no okay, here we go. We're at the back test point. I have pro accounts with TPT. I've had them over a month, and I have not had any $135 things hit up. You got to be very careful on Reddit. And this is one of these things where I have a kind of a unique situation, given I've been in this space since 2013. Is there are some crazy things, not necessarily just on Reddit, but just on social media, on message boards. Some of you are aware of these. There are some crazy things out there about me and my group that, I mean, if there is one person that would know whether or not these online conspiracies are true, it would kind of be the person. And I and the people that are part of my group, which always confused me because if all these things are true, well, then why don't you just join the group, take a bunch of screenshots, and then you'd actually have proof to the claims. But anyways, so I'll just say it this way. There is a lot of things said on social media, and I'm probably stating the obvious, but social media, Reddit, all that's just not true. Sadly, the email I use has locked me out. I started a new one just for trading, so I can't get the login. Oh, the email. Okay, the email platform. Just for trading, so I can't get the login info for the platform when they... Well, how long are you locked out for, Red? All right, here we go. We are at the back test point right here of the lower part of this former pattern, which is now the 21 EMA. That green line is also there. So does it bounce from here? I would not call you crazy for thinking that it could bounce from there. That's for sure. 24 hour. What email platform are you using? Man, that's a bummer. All right. Well, we're going to go over my day. And the first, so just to build a little context, I mean, good and bad news here. What do we want to start with? Do we want to start with bad news or good news first? Bad or good first? Actually, let's just do a poll. We'll do it. We're gonna get this super scientific. Sorry. Wait, we're gonna do a poll. Bad, good. Okay. Do you want to do the bad or good news first? Yeah. Now, maybe, just maybe what they're talking about, to be fair to them, and maybe they're just confused, and this is totally my speculating, is perhaps they're saying this right here, is that once you pass your test and you move into the pro account, now normally Take Profit Trader and all prop firms, have what they call an activation fee. So once you pass your test and then you're ready to move into your pro account, the pro account being where once you make money, you can start to, get payouts and all that sort of stuff. But Take Profit Trader, normally, in order to make that jump, charges $130 again. In prop firm lingo, that's called an activation fee. So maybe that's what they're talking about. But the current deal right now is there is no activation fee. So scratch that out. It is completely free to go from test to a pro. And then on top of that, so that's kind of a baked-in fee that the current deal right now, I'm not sure everybody really knows about. So yes, 30% off is a current deal, but then you get the no activation fee. But going back to that 130, I think you said 5, maybe that's what they're thinking is, well, no, they're going to charge you that activation fee after you pass. But so I don't, maybe that's what they were thinking. But no, as right now with the deal, and if you do want to get this deal and support this live stream, use the link that's pinned up at the top. All right. Bad news it is first. So we'll end that poll there. And okay. So if you were watching last week, I had the quote unquote live stream account, the $50,000 account, and was trading that. And was trading it earlier today. Rocking and rolling. I went into today only needing $1,000 to pass. So to build a little bit of context, if you don't know what I mean, so I had a $50,000 prop firm account. I was trying to get it from test into pro, and in order to do that, in order to make this jump, you have to pass the test. Well, what's the test, Clay? Very good question. So on the 50K account, which it was, the test was I needed to get and make $3,000. So I started today, I think, $2,100, something like that. So I need about $900 today. And I was rocking and rolling. And then I just needed $200 more to pass. $200 more to pass. And I'd been watching, we can get rid of this trend line right here. But I had been watching this right here. Going down. And within that, as a downtrend, I'm looking and seeing, look at all these areas of resistance if this thing were to bounce. It's got the VWAP. It's got the 21 EMA. It's got the 200 SMA. It's got just so many areas of resistance. There's no way that this thing's going to go, sure, anything can recover, but there's no way this thing's going to recover straight up. It'll come up there and bump its head on a few things, consolidate out, chop around, and that's all I need because I only need $200 more. I just need a little bit of chopping around in order to get that $200, and boom, I passed. So that's where my mind was, and then I get the golden goose candle. I get this big old move right. I'm like, oh, look at that. Overextended. You're overextended in a downtrend. You're overextended right up into VWAP right there. And I went and I got aggressive because I'm like, let's just make this happen. Let's make it happen quick. So I went short. So if you're a beginner, going short means I then wanted to see prices go down. And they did go down enough right here. So this movement down right there would have had me passing the test. The problem is it went up all the way there before coming back down, which boom, just like that. Let's make sure that you can see it. There, let's try this. Just like that, account roasted. Account roasted, account gone. But very frustrating. So yes, I was $200 away from passing, from moving from the test into the pro account. $200 away. I had made $2,800 of the $3,000, and then, well, like I said, it moved enough. However, this is what I would argue is one of the true key, because as much as I don't want to admit it to myself, there is a very real threat. I won't say that it would have guaranteed to have happened, but I know myself. I've been trading a very long time. I can see what could have transpired there because I was quite bearish, very big downward move, coming back up, give me a break, look at all these areas of resistance. You're eventually going to roll back over. But the built-in thing of Pam's plant and why this is just amazing. Part of, so Pam's Plant really quickly is my argument of if you're going to be a day trader, you should be day trading futures through a prop firm. And this is my reasoning. But the reasoning here that really illustrated itself was the added risk control. And then in this sense right here, how you protect your own money. Because how is this the case? Well, what did it cost, or what would it cost you? So I'll just say, we'll go with, let's say Tom. So Tom goes and he's like, okay, yeah, I want the 50,000 of purchasing power. In order to do that, it's going to cost Tom $119. And then again, for Tom to pass, he's got to make 3,000, but he's not allowed to lose 2,000. And that's why I quote unquote failed, blew up the account, because I lost more than 2,000. But that's what Tom's thinking. Okay, I'm aiming to make 3,000, but I can't lose more than 2,000. If I do lose more than 2,000, then the account is gone. But how much is actually gone for Tom? Is it 2,000? Well, no, it would only be the cost of the account, which was 119. But there is the choice. Well, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to trade futures with my own money. I'm going to trade stocks with my own money. I'm going to use my own money. Okay. So this is where, right here, the built-in protect your money, added risk control is in play. Because unfortunately for me, as much as I don't want to admit it, I could see you have this. I could see, because I've been here before. Unfortunately for me, several times over my trading career, is you're using your own money. Now think about it. Because I wasn't using my own money, this movement here knocked me out. Poof. So for Tom, if Tom was using his own money, yeah, okay, he now lost the account, but he only lost $119 because that was the cost of the account. But he's done. He's sidelined now. So he's down $119 overall. But if Tom was using his own money, and if Tom was feeling like I was feeling, which was still quite bearish at this point in time, Tom would be like, all right, man, that was a bummer. I just lost $2,000. But man, this thing's coming back down. I can get that back. This is great movement. I'm still bearish. I can see this thing rolling back over. So I can realistically get that $2,000. But again, if Tom's using his own money, then, and this could be on a stock, could be on a crypto, could be anything, but Tom's using his own money. He's down $2,000 of his own money. But here's the difference. With the prop firm, Pam's Plant, Tom can't trade anymore. Now he could go purchase another account, but that's going to take some time. But in other words, it's going to sideline him for a while. He's out of the game. He's out of the game for $110. But if you're using your own money, you could argue, yeah, but when you use your own money, you get to stay in the game. You can keep on trading. True, but this is what can happen. So because in this hypothetical, Tom's using his own money, he's still in the game. So yeah, he lost $2,000, but he's still in the game because it's not like he lost an account and now he's sidelined. No, he can still play. So long story short, if Tom stays bearish, and again, he's shorting, he's trying to make money, he's thinking this thing's going to roll over. Look at that. Oh, it'll for sure roll over after that candle. Look at that move. Insane move. And, well, he finally got a good pull. Yeah. Using your own money, this is such a big move. Tom, myself, could have been down, and this is not an exaggeration, depending on how big the account is, tens of thousands of dollars. Maybe account totally liquidated. But with the prop firm, where was I at? Where would Tom have been? He would have been sidelined. So if he was bearish, he would not have been able to participate. But you know what? That's a good thing because it knocked him out. It said, sorry, account gone, sit on the sideline. So that risk management in and of itself, because if you use your own money, yes, you get to stay in the game. But the cost of staying in the game is, well, it's your money at risk. Whereas Tom, it was just, sure. Me, on that one, I lost over $2,000. Tom, he would have lost over $2,000. But did Tom actually lose $2,000? If he was using his own money, he was. But with this, he would have only lost $119. And he could try again. And when you do try again with prop firms, instead of paying $119 again, it would only be $100 for a retry. But does that make sense, everybody? I'm not sure. Give me a 1. Does that make sense? Hit the number 1. Don't talk about Apex in here, okay? Apex, get out of here, BK, because that's so deceiving. Because Apex, then they charge you a bunch more because of activation fees and all that stuff. Don't be pumping that because that's just, no. Give me 1. Does that all make sense about the built-in risk management of a prop firm? Does everybody see how that works? I think I explained that pretty well. But hit that number 1 just to make sure. Are we on or? Okay, I always forget there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, so that would be my. I mean, that's just why Pam's plant. Like, I know I've made this argument. I know many of you have heard me make this argument time and time again. But today is like a perfect illustration of how this is just game changing because I've traded and I've had my own money on the line, and today, like I've said, as much as I don't want to admit it, I can see myself going into stubborn mode, being like, this thing is going to roll back over. This is the dead cat bounce. And I could have seen myself taking a couple more trades, and each of those, if each one, even if each one just leads to another $1,000 loss, I'm down $4,000 on the day of my own money. Whereas in the prop firm world, for Tom or whoever, they're only down the cost of the account. So that's just one of those things where sometimes you need to be knocked out of the game. This morning on that trade, I needed to be knocked out of the game. Tom needed to be knocked out of the game. And because of that built-in risk structure, we were knocked out of the game. Now, yes, sometimes you're going to be like, oh, I got knocked out of the game and it rolled back over. That's true, but all it takes is one of these moves here, and you can wipe away so much progress, so much gains. So I'm fine. I'm totally chill. But if you don't see Apex being very deceiving and how they're not deceiving, but just don't talk about Apex. I'm not a fan. I'll put it that way. I'm not a fan, but I am chilled. And if you think that's me unchilled, then you have definitely not seen me unchilled. It's just me. I got, and this goes in like, because I sell courses, I sell services, all that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, but like, if you're going to mark down your prices 70, 80, 90%, it's like, really? Like, so you're just admitting flat out that you're like way overcharging in the first place. Like, what does that do? Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a psychological study out there that I'm not aware of where like that's what, oh wow, it's a 90% discount. It's like, I mean, anyways, I've always found that. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Hooch. Yeah. So that's the two reasons. But I'm not a fan of them. I know a lot of people love them. I'm not a fan just because I think there's better ways to go about it. But I am chill. I get animated. I get passionate. But like, yeah. But I'm not a fan of gaslighting. So, all right. So that's the bad news. I roasted an account. Now the good news, and this will mean more to those of you that have been here for probably about a month, because it was not quite a month ago, but does anybody remember me having the discussion of how I really struggle with $150,000 accounts and passing them? How I passed all the other ones. Well, no, that's not quite true. But I've passed 25, I've passed the 50, passed 100, never tried a 75, just because I'm not quite sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but the 75 in my mind doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But like I said, that doesn't mean it's true. But the 150K, this was the big old monkey on my back. I just could not quite pass it. So about a month ago, I was like, all right, let's start a challenge. I'm going to take it slow and steady. And I was going to do it all on live stream. But then like the day one, it was a clown show. I was forcing bad trade. I was just doing stuff for the sake of the live stream, which isn't always going to be conducive to like if you want to actually pass something or you want to like make progress, because there is that element of entertainment. You want to try to, if I'm trying to grow the live stream, which I am, you got to keep things entertaining. So it got way too messy. So that's now why I discovered I'm going to have what I call live stream accounts where I can, I'm not going to say act like a degenerate, but I can just kind of take some trades and whatever happens, it happens, whatever. But with the challenge, I was like, all right, let's just go slow. And I did go slow. In hindsight, maybe I went a little too slow, but my theory was I think I just need to slow down. And let me check something real quick. Yeah, so and again, take private trader, you have to take at least 5 days to pass, which is like, wait, this other company lets you pass in 1 day. Yeah, but except what they don't tell you is then you have like 8 more days of what I would say is the real test before you can ever get paid. Whereas take private trader, yes, it's 5 days of the test, but then theoretically, if you play it perfectly, you could get paid on day 6. So point here is you have 5 days. And yeah, it only took me 18 days to pass, almost an entire month to pass. But I did slow down, and I got little by little. And yeah, let's, if I hop over here. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. Let's see, is this showing up? Kinda. I'll just do this. Let me just take a screenshot and I'll move it on screen because it's not fitting quite within. There we go. So right here, you can see that I did finally get up over 159 because in order to pass with 150,000 purchasing power, you've got to have, you got to make 9,000. And right there, you can see that today I passed. The monkey is off my back, made a little over 1,000. So I have passed the 150 account. And then also, it's always a good day. If you look here, I think this one shows up. Okay, you can't quite see. Okay, I'll just, since it's behind my ugly mug, let me just take another screenshot. And then also, it's always a good day when you, nothing huge, but this pro account was kind of on the struggle bus. But always a good day when not only do you recover from the struggle bus, but you also push yourself up into payment territory. So yeah, this account is now eligible for a payout just because Take Profit Trader is awesome when it comes to payouts. So they don't, as soon as you go up above buffers, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but I'll just say that Take Profit Trader pays. They pay as much as you want. They pay as often as you want. So basically any day could be a day where, okay, you're eligible for a payment. But this is one where, like I said, the account was on the struggle bus. And not only was the struggle taken care of today, but it was taken care of enough to the point where now it's eligible for a payout if I want some payouts on it. So so it was, that's the good news. Passed the 150K account, cleaned up the struggle bus nature of my pro account, and not only cleaned up the struggle bus nature of it, but also was able to get into payout territory. So some bad on the day, some good on the day, but I'll take it. I'll take it, especially when you're getting accounts to that point where you can request money and get paid. Hey, Evil Shaddix. Account hit the monthly reset yesterday. Oh. What size account was able to trade today? Learned a valuable lesson this morning. Don't have to trade a ton of contracts to make good gains. That is a good lesson. Yeah. I appreciate the super chat. And yeah. You guys are you confident though it made sense, or would it have made more sense just for something you to think about? Would it have made more sense for you to just get it really aggressive and then either blow up the account and then just pay the $100, or did it make sense to just pay the reset because you were so close to passing? So yeah, so the reason why what I'm pushing back on Shaddix is just from a prop firm strategy standpoint is you may be thinking, hey Clay, how long do I have to pass the test? And you can take as long as you want to pass the test. The thing though that you need to consider is that, and why I recommend getting it done within a month, is because if you do take more than a month, that's fine, but they'll charge you with another monthly fee. So that's why I say you don't have to rush through it. I mean, you have 5 days anyways, so don't rush, but try to make it where it's within a month so you can avoid paying this fee all over again. But the nice thing here is once you do pass, and then you move, like I said earlier, the way it works, and you move from the test into the pro, and this over here, there's no more monthly fees. So that makes it very, very attractive. And yeah, I'm trying to see. Again, somebody else was trying to, or we're saying, well, Reddit says there's monthly. No, there's not. So 50K, I blew my account a week ago and just waited for the, oh, I see what you're saying. I see. Okay, that's different. Gotcha. Well, just so you know, you can start it right away. You don't necessarily have to wait. And you could just start it right away for $100 if you wanted. I think it's been a while since I've asked, but let's make a push up to 50. We're not even close to, we're 40 minutes in. Still 13 likes away from 50. So if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. So there we go. There's the bad news and good news of my day. But by far, a very important learning lesson here was just that built-in risk management of the prop firms, and how today, if I was using my own money on there's a very real threat that this move right here would have been bad. And then think about this. Imagine, and this is true, there are some people out there that they're not using prop firms. They're using their own money. And they got caught in the wrong side on this. And that move was bonkers. I was around. I was playing that from the long side, thankfully. But again, it was still all within prop firm. So, like I said, true story. You know there's somebody that played this from the long side right there. Not in a prop firm. And if they got stubborn, if they started to average down, account liquidated. Account, well, what are you talking about? It bounced right there. Yeah, there's no way in an account, there's no way anybody has enough money to absorb this sort of movement. With as fast as this thing was moving, I mean, this was, for the undisciplined long, this movement right here, account liquidated. Now, I'm not talking about prop firm, meaning your account's roasted and it's gone. I mean, like your own money, all that money in the account is gone. You're liquidated. Margin call. Game over. Like if you had $30,000 loaded into your futures account, $30,000 is gone. And who knows, maybe even owe your broker some money, because I mean, that's how fast all of that movement was. But again, going back to the prop firm and the risk management, you only would have been out what the cost of the account was. I recall you saying the 150K is, yeah. I did pass the 150K. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's problem, Evil Shaddix. I was just saying in general. But if you needed to take some time away, that's fine. All right, so right now, we got a bit of a bear pennant. So we have this downwards move here, and then I'm just going to use the VWAP as the bottom part of the pattern. So here's a new question. Is this worthy to get short? If it comes down and breaks, does that create more downside continuation? That is the question. Other people, I could see some longs saying, no, Clay, I think I want to play a breakout to the upside. I can see that. Again, I am being very, very picky. Because I don't have a lot of wiggle room. I can only make about $200 more, because in a test account, you're only allowed to make 50% of the profit target. So the account right here that I'll trade on the live stream is a test for 50. So there is the rule only during the test phase, because they don't want somebody to YOLO. They want to see some consistency, but you're only allowed to make 50% of the profit target in a single day. So the profit target is $3,000, meaning I'm only allowed to make $1,500 in a single day on this account. Once again, once you get to the pro accounts, you can make as much as you want in a single day. But during the test phase, they're preventing you from just YOLOing. Like, let me just go all in, go big, and then let's see what. No, it's like, because that's not actually proven any skill. So they want to at least limit that by the consistency. So I'm only allowed to make $1,500 in this account. But my point here is that, I guess we'll just go over here. And right now I am up basically $1,300. So I have about $200 more that I'd be allowed to make before I'd go over that rule. And while that wouldn't wreck the account, it would change my profit target, and I don't want to go through any of that. Yeah, Evil Shaddix, check out what Hooch is talking to you about. That's a very good bit of advice. It's a very quick way to gauge just how volatile days are. Let's do this. I think, in my opinion, what I'm going to do is let's just use the 21 EMA, or I'm going to use the 21 EMA as kind of the top part of the pattern. So we'll use that as our resistance line that's going to draw itself for us, and then we'll just use the VWAP as the bottom part. So that's the pattern right now, that little wedge. Hey, Joey, good morning. Man, brutal on the likes. Brutal on the likes. Was it Thursday? We're up to like 60 likes in 20 minutes. Brutal crowd. Brutal crowd. They're making me work for them likes. James, 100 Mycos could have resulted in over $250,000 loss. Yeah, no. Exactly. That's what I mean by those movements. Like, it's just crazy movement. Like, this is where it's mind-boggling to me. Like, when the fact that prop firms, well, it's mind-boggling. Like, why would you ever trade anything else? Day trading wise, why would you trade a stock or day trade a crypto or option? I mean, these movements are, it's just like, as day traders, we're looking for movement. And the nice thing is you can control the movement in futures so much better based on the type of contract you choose, and then the and when I say that, that's not complicated. If you were to move into futures, I would say start with the M NQ. So when I say type of future, there's two. So it's not like it's hard. You have the NQ and the MNQ for the NASDAQ. Don't start with the NQ. NQ moves just extremely quick. So you want to start with that, but start with the MNQ. And start with just one contract, because you don't trade shares and futures, you trade one. So start with one MNQ and just get your feet wet And I've yet to have a single person on the live stream that's gone and tried Pam's Plant. Again, Pam's Plant, trading futures through a prop firm. I've not yet had one person go and do that and come back and be like, yeah, no, day trading options was better. Day trading stocks was better. No, everybody's like, whoa, futures are awesome. I love that there's no pattern day trading rule. I can day trade as much as I want. I'm glad that if I get stuck in a crazy move or if I go revenge trade and go on tilt, it's not me losing all this money. It's, yeah, sure, I lose my account, which I can get again for $100, but I'd rather, have that than, the thousands of dollars that's been lost. So just crazy to think, though, that there are people out there that are just they're trading, they're at risk of getting stuck in one of these moves with their own money, entirely their own money on the line. Yes, I get it. If it works out, it can work in your favor, and yeah, technically it's all your money, but it's just the risk component. One of those, and poof. Good morning, Nero. Trying to make account at TPT since yesterday. The confirmation email never arrives. Tried many times. What confirmation email are you talking about? Are you sure your account? Because once you buy, it'll tell you, hey, keep an eye on your email for what the log. Let me ask you this: have you logged into your account, Arub? And what does your dashboard say? Does it say your account's pending, or does it say that's active? No likes because you have become an infomercial for this prop firm. No live trading. I do some live trading, but are you saying that this is a bad idea? Origin unknown. Is Pam's Plan a bad idea? So I'll just accept the fact that I've become an infomercial for Pam's Plant. Fair enough. But are you saying this is an infomercial for a bad idea? Like, is there something that you would say you're an infomercial for a bad idea, or are you saying that I'm an infomercial for a good idea? Which one would you say? And if you say it's a bad idea, fine. What exactly do you believe to be a bad idea about Pam's Plant? Because my experience so far is people only attack me. They don't attack the idea. So like you sort of attacked me. Like, oh, you're an infomercial. Okay, fine. I'll accept. I am an infomercial. But now, are you saying that I'm an infomercial for a bad idea or for a good idea? And again, if I am an infomercial for a bad idea, what about this do you believe to make it a bad idea? So that is my question to you, Origin, right now. Am I an infomercial for a good idea or bad idea? New to the channel, TPT or Top Step. I'm all in on TPT because I love their payment policy. And for people that are not, what does that mean in the world of prop firms? Well, prop firms, and again, this does not make other prop firms a scam. But for example, if you make $10,000, then on other prop firms, they'll say, well, yeah, you made $10,000, but you can only request money every couple of weeks or whatever. And when that time does come where you're allowed to request money, you actually can only request $2,000 or $3,000. Even though you made 10, you can only request 2 or 3. Again, I'm not saying that makes them a scam. They've paid out and all that sort of stuff. But in my mind, it's like, but I made 10,000. With Take Profit Trader, if you make 10,000, then you can go and say, hey, I made 10,000, and you can request that whenever you want and in whatever amount that you want. So to me, Take Profit Trader, that's just what separates them from everybody else and why I think it makes a lot of sense. Origin unknown. Yet another clown. Pam's Plant remains undefeated. All people can do is attack me, the ad hominem fallacy. But when it comes to, well, tell me what's bad about the idea. They go quiet. I will proudly say that I am an infomercial if you're saying it's for a good idea. Like, yeah, so you're telling me that I'm promoting a good idea. Thank you. That's a compliment to call me. Because as far as I can tell, you just accused me of being an infomercial for a good idea. Now, I understand if you're like, dude, you're being an infomercial for a really bad idea. Okay, let's have a discussion on that. That's not a compliment. But as far as I can tell, because you have not told me how my idea is bad, only way I can take that is you just accused me of being an infomercial for a good idea. Thank you. That's quite the compliment. Mine went to spam folder. Okay. Yeah. Maybe check your spam folder. James, thank you for helping out. So if you did not get the email from Take Profit Trader, as always, good email habits. Check the spam. 21 EMA on what time frame? Ronnie, this is the 2 minute that we're looking at here. But I do use multiple time frames, so I am looking at other things off screen. You're the Billy Mays of making money, and I'm here for it. Sham wow. No cash flow. Billy Mays, Billy Mays. I don't know who. I know who Willie Mays is. I don't know about Billy Mays. And I'm here for it. Like I said, it's. I have no problem being like, my core goal is I want to convert people that are day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading Forex, day trading crypto into day trading futures through a prop firm. Because I think it's a really good idea. And I've yet had to anybody tell me how it's not a good idea. No, nobody. People, like I said, people will attack me. I've been called a Wall Street plant. Now I've been called an infomercial. But again, it's like, that's a compliment. Billy Mays did a lot of, like you said, I get it. Like that's actually, that'd be bad. Like that's an insult, which, dude, you're an infomercial for a bad idea. But he didn't attack the idea. So right now I'm taking that as I'm an infomercial for a good idea. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. No, I do not have Apex accounts. I'm not, I know, I do not. I do not. Let's see. Again, if I missed your comment, I apologize. I'm not trying to. Mike, seeing some nice green numbers on Clay. Yeah, Mike, I went through my day. Yeah, I think you must have shown up. I just went through it. Had some bad news, had some good news. I would say mostly good news. Gus, fat boy. How long does it take after passing tests to receive the email to start? Well, when did you pass? Like, did you just pass it today? And what day are you on? Billy Mays is dead. Gotcha. Oh, OxyClean. Is that the guy with the beard? Yeah. I'll take that. Infomercial for a good idea. But then then there's always the little bit of a troll aspect and no live trading. Like if you've been here, you've seen me do live trade. So like that's just like that part that was just completely inaccurate. So all right, I could see potentially getting short here with a stop above overnight high. What kind of risk is that? I might actually 25. Am I? So if I think, yeah, that's almost 100-point risk. This action is bonkers. Bonkers. Yeah, if I'm getting short here at 40 and I want my stop basically up here. Okay. Yeah, that is crazy. Crazy. Even on one micro, that's wild. Hey, take care, Mike. Yes, the guy with the beard did yeah. Green Day isn't just a band; it's Clay's trading. Well, no, let's keep things, except for that one account that this was a red day, so that account was roasted on the day. Yes, but as I was explaining earlier, I got another 150,000 passed. I got a pro account that was on the struggle bus. I corrected the struggle bus. And not only did I correct the struggle bus, got it into payout territory, which is that top. You can't tell over here because it's behind my beautiful face. But this top line here is a pro account. Pro accounts, for those of you that are beginners, are those that you can request money. I passed Sunday, and I passed within the first 5. Well, why are you making life so hard on yourself? You can't make more than a single day, but I'm glad you still passed. Passed 3 days later. I guess check your spam. Or have you been on your dashboard? What do you see on your dashboard? Because you're gonna have to fill out paperwork now. You got to fill out paperwork to so they can send you the 1099 form and stuff like that. Again, I can see people playing it both ways. I can see long saying if it pushes up through her, I can see the breakout. But I can also see where my mind was, I can see short saying if I get short here, stop up above here, and if this rolls back over, that could be beautiful. The thing is, this little space here is 100 points. That's bonkers. It's bonkers. So even a little small distance on the chart could be like 40 points. Like I said, today, like this is historic times. Historic times. Crazy. How are stocks moving, actually? I'm curious. That big spike that happened in the... Let's check out the SPY right here. Did that go on any... Okay, yeah. So even if you're trading... So again, this is what I mean. So that big spike that happened on the futures, I mean, even if you're trading stocks, or I mean, that right there, all your money on the line, I mean, roasted. What about if you're doing... How's QBTS doing for that one guy that bought the top there? Well, he's still hopefully put in a stop loss somewhere. Yeah, again, roasted. Oh. Wow. Wow. Yes, that's what I'm waiting on paper trading to sign to start. Okay, you don't see anything on your dashboard though, Dawes, fat boy? Again, can't. See, that's the thing is even... Yeah, just wild movement. Like, I have to do one anyways just because... Yeah, so if I'm short here... Yeah, that's a 100-point risk. So that's, what, $200 risk? Yeah, $200 risk on just one micro. I guess I could try, but even, yeah, it's just, like I said, this is just crazy action. I mean, the scaling over here, it's just wild. Just active. It's in review from what I was told. Okay, yeah. Then you have to wait for him to review it. And how long does it take? I don't know. I don't know. Shouldn't be that long. What's the ES up to right now? Oh, ES actually got... Well, in hindsight, yeah, I should have taken that. But again, that was just a lot of... For me, maybe you're at a different spot. I'm not saying that... But I was just not willing to take that trade due to the risk profile. But if anybody did take that short, like I was thinking, good job. It's rolling back over for you. Can they deny in a review? Yeah, that's what I thought, Hooch. Yeah, if it says active, okay. All your information are good. Keep doing the good work. Thank you, Rodney. I don't mind being called an infomercial. Especially if, I mean, as far as I can tell, Pam's plan is a good idea. Nobody's been able to tell me how it's a bad idea. So call me Billy Mays for Pam's plant. I'm trying to sell plants around here. Whose plant? Pam's plant. Let's go. Yeah, so just kind of waiting to see if it wants to come down or not. Let's see here. Frank, are you still here? I'm gonna reply to your email real quick. Just send you a link to. Okay, Frank, I don't know if you're still here, but I just sent you an email, so try clicking on that link. All right, do we get the breakout here? So again, an example of it all depends on your strategy. If you chose to scalp from the short side, nice winner. Plenty of movement to scalp. If you're looking for this thing to roll back over, then I'm not going to say your trade's over, but you're probably feeling a little nervous right now. But wait, there's more. Oh, James, that's kind of spicy. That's not a bad idea, James. Getting spicy over there. I like it. James is over there cooking. Hooch is cooking with maple syrup because he's Canadian. Hooch, by the way, in the chat room, guys filled with knowledge. He's already dropped a couple of good suggestions in there. He's been with me since basically the beginning. Started the website, started the channel back in 2013. Hooch was one of the first people that ever signed up for my private community. Been around for a long time. He's a way better trader than I am. So just one of those situations where, yeah, he went through my course, but as has been the case with many people now, they've gone through it and they're like, now I ask them like, hey, what do you think about this? Which has always been my goal. I just want to surround, like, I don't have an ego. Like, if you go through my training and then you start making way more money and you're a way better trader than me, cool. Like, now iron sharpens iron, right? I want to surround myself with pieces of iron. Hooch is a piece of iron with maple syrup on it, again, because he's Canadian, but he's still a piece of iron nonetheless. So, yeah, if he's in the chat room, just take note of what he's saying. Been around a long time. Oh, this is looking spicy. Look at that rejection off. This is just such a... Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm I'm plenty green. So let me ask this real quick. Oh, wow, you got on that fast. Who here has either never traded futures or have never even seen futures? Give me a 5 in the chat box. Because I may put on a trade just so you can get an idea of the movement and see some movement for yourself in like a bare minimum kind of way. But then again, today is very deceiving because today is not the norm. So scratch that. Because even if I were to show you a bare minimum movement, it's still going to be not true in the sense of like today is just a freak of nature day. Exactly, Kelly. You know the action is spicy when that y-axis is that much. Crazy. Again, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. The goal today is 120 likes. So we're actually... I hate to constantly say hit the like button, but if I don't, it's like the number doesn't move. But yeah, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. New to futures and I want to start soon. Danielle, you were here on Saturday if I remember right. Yeah. Yeah, futures are, they're nice. They're smooth. I mean, you just look at this price action right here. This is just such smooth action. It's so smooth. Okay, maybe I could get, what would this be if I have a stop here? And then if I get in down here. Okay, that's only a 60-point stop. So if I do get in for people that just want to see how, like I said, I would do the bare minimum. I'm doing one contract of the very, very small contract. So you would watch that number down there, and that would show you. But again, this is still just crazy movement. Whoops. Okay, I'm in. How many? I don't even know how much I was up on that one. But that was a quick green trade. But I don't. Does anybody know what this number was before I took that trade? Because then we can do a quick calculation on that. It was 347.50. All right. No, missed it. That was quick. Yes. Okay, so here we go. So that number's now at 360.50, and it was 347.50. So on that, and to Daniel's point, whoa, that was quick. Yeah, that was like, I don't know, maybe a 2 or 3 second trade. I made $13. Now, I know. Dude, what? $13? Ooh, right. I understand. Fair enough. But again, this was the bare minimum movement. And this is part of Pam's plan, the movement, and more specifically, and the ability to control it. So maybe you're like, dude, that movement that only made you $13. Like, what kind of clown show are you running here? Again, fair enough. But with the world of Pam's plant and prop firms, let's just take the bare minimum again of purchasing. So you could have gone bare minimum and got yourself $25,000 in purchasing power. That would have allowed you. So that number that you saw is one. Again, this was only one contract. So that number right there, again, and with futures, you don't trade shares, you trade contracts. So that was only one contract. But if you wanted to get a $25,000 purchasing power account, it would require $105 out of your pocket. So with that number that you saw at one could have been taken as high as 30. As high as 30 for no extra cost. Now, right, you could fairly be saying is, well, Clay, but you can do that too in stocks. Like, if you're not happy with the movement, well, then just get more shares, which is true. But what does that require? Getting more shares means, well, you have to have more money in your pocket to buy those shares. But that's not the case there. I had one, and you could have done just one for the $105. But you could have increased that all the way up to 30, and this is just per trade. So I could have increased that up to 30 in that trade, but the 105 stays the same. So it's not like, okay, well, now I got to go get another $105. No, you could have just gone from one contract up to 30 for the same exact amount. So now let's look at that from the calculator standpoint, because what we just saw there was the $13 with one contract. But if we had 30, we got to multiply that by 30 now, because that would be per contract. So that could have been a $390 trade in those very few moments. But you might still be saying, well, Clay, $390, like I after going to the bathroom, I use $390 to wipe things up. That's nothing. Okay, fair enough. Because again, I'm just showing you the bare minimums. So on the other side of the spectrum, if you were to go and get the 150,000 purchasing power, then that number that was at one that you could have taken up to 30, in this situation could have been taken up to 150. So 13 per contract times 150, that was $1,950. So what you saw there, again, now I'm taking things to the other end of the spectrum, but that could have been $1,950. You're not getting that movement in stocks. You're not getting that in crypto. And that, again, that was a very anticlimactic trade. It's not like that was some sort of massive explosion of a move or anything. That was oh so minimum, oh so barely anything. Yet that's the scalability. That is right here. The ability to not only, the movement is great, but your ability to control it via the position size. But again, the position size at no extra cost to you. So that's why I say you are wasting your time if you're day trading stocks, options, crypto, or Forex. There are better ways, and that better way is Pam's plan. So I'm new and just tuned in. What's the purchasing power he keeps pulling up? That is for a prop firm. Prop firms are a way for you to minimize risk and just have very little of money you're at risk with a whole lot of upside potential. Because you could get 150, you could get, let's just say, the 50,000 of purchasing power. Then you have to pass the test. You pass the test by making 3,000, but you're not allowed to lose 2,000. And that's going to cost you $119 per month. So try to pass the test in a month so you don't get hit with that fee again. After you do that, you go from the test account into the pro account. And then in the pro account, you get to keep your gains. Now you keep 80% of them. And then pro plus account, you keep 90%. But again, this is all with, if you get that 50,000, all in, you'd have $119. So for $119, in theory, you could pass the test, go to the pro, make $10,000. You'd get to keep 80% of that. So you could make $8,000 with only $119 at risk the entire time. So that is where it's like, why would you not at least try this? Good morning, Clay. Relaxing currency trading today. Brian Thompson, you're trading currencies? Please don't tell me you're trading Forex. Because you are a name that's been here around time and time again. You've heard Pam's plan over and over again. Please tell me I misread that and you're not day trading Forex. How much room do I? Yeah, so I've got about, yeah. So you're telling me you're day trading Forex. Is that what you're telling me? I'll concede that they're both volatile, but you still, in my opinion, at least have a massive problem on your hands. So yes, oftentimes day trading Forex, the problem is like it's not very volatile. It barely budges. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess, so Brian is there. And are you using a prop firm or are you using your own money? Is that your entire account that you're using to trade? Like all your money, Brian? Yeah, at Forex, it's just like, oh boy. But today is historic, so I do believe that Forex is probably quite volatile today. Fair enough. But if Brian is using his own money, that means that all it takes is one snap against him, one crazy move against him, and that is all his money gone. Whereas with the prop firm, as we've already talked about, yeah, maybe he loses the account, which he can always buy back and try again. But when he loses the account, it's just for the price of it. But that's just crazy. To trade a day like today using your own money, with like your own money on the line, it's mind-boggling to me. It is crazy. Well, there is the breakdown. So, I mean, we could get a trend line in here, and I will. So, yeah, that's an interesting trend line. But you kind of, I mean, this is where from the long side, it's a little like, well, what do I do? I mean, from a long's perspective, do you get long there? Or do you wait for the 200 period moving average? Or do you wait for the VWAP? Again, I'm not saying, and none of those are wrong per se. I see the logic between all of them. But it's one of those things where, you know, eventually it's going to come in and probably bounce off one of them. And then some people are going to be like, I should have waited. Other people are going to say, why didn't I wait for that one? Or other people are going to say, why did I wait for that one? Because it bounced off another one. So just one of those things. But yeah, you have, so I would say the bulls do seem to still be making a case here. Well, let's do this real quick. Well, yeah. I'll still give that. I think that this movement here is still overall relatively bullish. Wait, you can trade Forex on Take Profit Trader? Is that true, Hooch? What do you mean your first one with my code? What about the other ones, Brian? You didn't use my code on the other ones? Come on, Billy Mays. First one with your code, but not the next 18 that I passed. If you can trade Forex on Take Profit Trader, I just officially learned something today. I was not aware of that. All right, Frank. Let me try something else here. Okay, all right. Add roll. All right, Frank. Assuming you're still here, now try to log out of everything and then try to log back in. Hey, could you pass account and transfer names after? No, I don't think so, Andrew. I don't think so. That seems a bit sketchy. It seems almost like, did you look up some service that's going to pass these tests for you? I mean, you can ask them because I don't know, but I'm just guessing. And my guess is that they're like, wait, no. The name on the account that passes, that's who gets to stick with it. Or else you're going to be like, you know, somebody else passed, like they're trying to form a partnership with you, not somebody else. So if Bob Jones passes, then they want to stay with Bob Jones. They don't want Bob Jones all of a sudden to become Tim Wilson because who's Tim Wilson? Does Tim Wilson know how to trade? We know Bob Jones can trade because he passed the test, but who's this Tim Wilson guy? So like I said, I'm speculating, but I'm assuming the answer to that would be no. So right now, overall, I'm ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern. Now, just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's for sure going up, but I mean, if we just kind of map things out here, as right there being the key area of resistance, this being our trend line. Of course, if you want to use another, but right there, ascending triangle. Pretty much just a waiting game. Is it going to get some sort of move in the upwards direction? We'll have to see what happens with it. I've been seeing account giveaways. Well, yeah, I mean, the account giveaways are giving you an account, but it's still an account that's like not passed or anything. Like you still have to pass it. Could you have someone do your taxes? Currently doing mine, and these 1099Bs are annoying. Yeah, I have an account in a CPA firm that I've been working with for years now. So, yeah, and outside of that, all I say with taxes is if you make money, you got to pay taxes on it. So just remember that. But other than that, I don't give tax advice. Other than find a local tax attorney, a local CPA that knows your local rules and regulations. Well, I know you can trade hogs, but hogs is still futures. Oh, maybe Brian, what you're saying is you're trading futures like they're still futures, but they're just based on currencies. Is that what you're saying, bro? I think that's what you're saying. You're not actually trading the pairings themselves. You're trading futures that care about those pairings, just like NQ cares about the NASDAQ. Yes, you are what? You're trading the futures, or you're trading the futures for the pairing, or you're trading the pairing itself. All right, we're at that lower trend line. Does it hold? Does it hold? I don't know. Do I get short? We'll see. I got plenty of leeway, so we can have a little bit of fun. Show some people that have never seen trading or futures trading. Again, if you've never seen it, watch that number down there, and that'll give you an idea of the speed at which they can trade. Look at that. Power of trend lines. Bounced right off that level. Look at that. Learn charts. Charts are not the holy grail, but technical analysis matters. Technical analysis matters. I'm just throwing this out there right now, but I usually go for 2 hours. But if we want the party to continue, then I gauge that based on the interest, and interest is quantified via super chats and likes. So we still have like 40 minutes, but this needs to get up to 100 likes, or we'll call it $20 in super chats for the party to continue beyond the 2 hour mark. So if you want the party to continue, you're enjoying. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button. So like I said, we got to get up to 100 likes within the next 41 minutes, or $20 in super chats. So just, again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button so we can keep things. Oh, whoops. Kind of just missed it. No, that's a chase. Could I scalp it out, though? At this point, do I just look to scalp down there? Yeah, maybe I'll look to take a quick scalp with NQ. Again, I can't get two because I don't have a whole lot of room left that I can make on the day. Now, that number right there, just based on consistency rules, and because this is a test account, I can only make $1,500 on the day, and I'm almost at $1,500. So, Again, once you get to the pro accounts, though, you can make as much as you want. So I kind of got to be careful of that, too, at the same time. Nice. Made a run up to 68 likes. Very good. So I'll offer up a couple more reminders. Unless somebody wants to be the knight in shining armor and just drop the $20 as a super chat. But like I said, that's just how I try to gauge. Are people still interested? I don't know any other metrics to use other than likes and super chats. Hey, Frank, are you still... I'm missing the move. I'm not missing any moves. Frank, did you give that a try? Assuming you're still here, I sent you... You should be able to... You should be able to post now in the room. Nice, 70 likes. All right, I think we got a chance. I think we can get 30 more in about 39 minutes, or the $20 super chat, whatever. Okay, let's see if I can get... Yes, right there. So looking for a little bit of a scalp down around this area that ideally should be support for an NQ. So if I do get filled, it is an NQ, so it'll be moving quicker. So that'll be the number that needs to be watched. But I do have an order out there, just a quick little scalp order. And now it's bouncing back up. See if it wants to drop down some more. So yeah, that would have been a nice little scalp for the shorts. Anybody else that wanted more of them? Well, I mean, that movement was still from the break to the lows. What was the break right there is about, I don't know, 80 down to, yeah, that was still like a 60-point move, which is just bonkers. All right, I'm going to cancel my order out. There we go. And this isn't unique to futures per se, but I will say that futures has some really cool platforms where, I mean, you can set, I can click here, put in trade plans. I don't even have to use these buttons. I mean, you can set everything right on the chart itself. Again, to be fair, that's not unique to futures per se, but futures platforms definitely have some good solid platforms. But I never did ask. I guess I'm kind of a jerk. How are your guys' days going? Usually I ask that right away. How are people's days going? Green, red? Wish you never woke up this morning. You super happy you woke up this morning. Remember, even if you're having a bad day, it happens. And so if for those of you that, especially in the prop firm world, if you roasted some accounts, hey, you know what? That's why the accounts are there. And a prop firm account is a form of risk management in and of itself. So does it make you a bad trader? Some of the best traders, not some, all the best traders I know that do very well in prop firm trading, they've all blown accounts. They continue to blow accounts because that's just the nature of the beast. Ended up blowing my prop accounts. Knew I should have stopped this morning. Appreciate the transparency, Mark. That's awesome. Your transparency is awesome. Not that you blew them, but also, I mean, you still had amazing returns before you blew them up, right? Because last week you took, what, $7,000 in payouts? So yeah, you blew them up now, but you blew them up after you had over 7,000 in payouts, which is awesome. Woke up above ground and healthy. Cheers to that, Nick. Oh, just 2 pro accounts? Oh, that's a mere flesh wound. You have way more than 2 pro accounts. Yeah, still good. Yeah, but Mark, I mean, what I'm curious is how many days have you had where, like, you kept trading, but then you had an even bigger green day? Like, I know confirmation bias is going to want you to just focus on the days where I should have just been done. Yeah, but how many days where because you weren't done, you had even bigger green days? So what's this pro account thing? Pro account is where you make money. So the way it works is this. You pick what sort of purchasing power you want. So if you want, 100,000 in purchasing power, it's going to cost you 231. You have to pass a test. So phase number 1 is test phase. In order to pass, you've got to make 6,000. You can take as long as you want. There's no time limit on, how long it takes you, but you're not allowed to lose 3,000. So that's the test. Once you pass the test, then you move into this next phase, which is the pro. And in the pro, once you start making money, you get to keep that money and you get to request it. And now you don't get to keep all of it. You get to keep 80% of it. So if you make 10,000, you're keeping 8,000 of it. And then eventually, if you work your way to the Pro Plus, now you're keeping 90% of your gains. But you first got to pass the test to get into the Pro account. These two accounts are where you start to collect the money. But you gotta make the jump there. And the current deal right now, all prop firms have it, what they call an activation fee. So normally, to go from test to pro, Take Profit Trader is going to charge you $130 called the activation fee. But right now the promotion, assuming you use my link to get the promotion, there is no activation fee. So it's $0 to go from test to pro. So that's how all that works. Yeah. Oh, come on in. Come on in. You got a letter for me? Yeah. You want to talk to the people again? Oh, you made this letter for me. Yeah. Let's see it. You want me to? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Should I show the people? There we go. You want to say hi to everybody? No. Yes, you do. You always get likes. We got to get some likes. We got to get this show cranked up. Just a second. No. Oh yeah, you want to put that on? That's good. All right. Cause I almost naked. Yeah, almost. Okay. Remember talking there. Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. No, lean a little bit closer to that. Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say, how's your day? How's your day? Remember, you got to talk in that. Say, how's your day? How's your day? Oh, Michelle's here. We got to make Michelle a mod. Michelle can be extra trusted. Let's see, where is that? You say hi, Michelle. Or hi, Miss Michelle. Say hi, Miss Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Add a moderator. Standard moderator. There we go. You got anything else you want to talk about? I want to do one of those red things. You want to make a trade? Yeah. Oh boy. I want to do up. You think it's going to go up? Yeah. Oh, why do you think it's going to go up? What do you see that makes you think it's going to go up? I know. I agree. That's fair. That's a fair point. I think it might come down a little bit. I don't know if I trust it enough for it to go up. Yeah. Oh, down. Yeah, it could go down. I agree. What are you supposed to be doing right now? Does Mom know you're up here? I just think it and then. Okay. Then go back down. You got to go back down. Okay. Before you go, say please hit the like button. Please click the like button. Okay, let's watch that number. Let's see if it goes up. Okay, watch that number. Do you know what number that is right now? Are you still learning numbers? 7. Yeah, you're right. That's a 7. So 4. So 74 is technically a number, but you're right. That is a 7. Let's see if it goes. Oh, it just went up. Do you see that changed from 4 to 5? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Daddy. Yeah. Look it. What? It's too small. Oh yeah. That's kind of showing us what's being. Look at that. It's at 77 now. Yeah, good job. It's 7-7. Yeah, 7-7. All right. Well, you better head back down. Okay. Say bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Every time I just say hi. Yeah, well, you do a good job. You do a good job with it. See you later. See you later. Hey, Daddy. Yeah. Every time I just give you letters. Yeah, no, but they're very pretty letters. Yeah. Okay, see you later. See you later. All right, coming down to that pink line there. It went down, kid. I'm glad it didn't quite go up this time. Good try, though. You can't be right all the time, yeah. No, you can keep it off. Thanks. What about do it close or open? Yeah, just keep it closed, please. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm still trying to change your perspective on a professional promoter. I will accomplish it. Yeah, you can keep trying, Andrew. You haven't overcome my objection. My objection is you could just go and purchase traffic, purchase followers, purchase likes, and then claim to me, look, my promoting is working. It's like, is it working, or did you just purchase things to make it look like it's working? If you can overcome that objection, I'm all ears. You only use a 2-minute time frame. Just trade until... No, I use other time frames. They're just off screen. What I'm showing you here is a 2-minute. But yeah, I use other... I'm a big believer in multiple time frame analysis. In terms of loss, how does it look? I don't know what you mean by in terms of loss. In terms of loss, it's your account. So let's say you fail the test because you lose over 3,000. You didn't lose 3,000 of your money. You just lost the cost of the account. So you could try again, and the reset fee, as it's called, would be $100. So originally to purchase the account, $231, but if you quote-unquote fail the test, meaning you lose more than 3,000, you can try again, but the quote-unquote try again price would be $100. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant by... In terms of loss, how does it work? Black, I couldn't trade due to I am waiting on email live to trade. Michelle, hi. Hi, Diego from Argentina. Very cool. Why? You should have something by Michelle's name. She's a mod, right? No, she is now. Okay. Maybe that was before. Let her do a trade. I'm down. I got hacked. Lost everything and really need a break. So what can I do to get you to buy you an account, huh? Exactly what Hooch said. Well, no, because I don't even know how much YouTube takes of these super chats. I think it might be like 30%. So we got to run the math on that, Hooch. Bake in that 30% cut. Price is really working your trend line. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like I said, if you're a scalper, that trend line break right there is beautiful. But other than that, it's kind of now messy. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that level. I think that pink line there. Hey, Clay, not sure if you remember me, but I was the overview strategy guy. But by no means I'm trying to brag or tell you your opinion is wrong. But I just passed my... Yeah, Andy, I don't think you listened to me. I didn't say that it didn't work, but if you think that, no, I did listen. Andy, it doesn't, okay, never mind. Some people don't listen. Again, if you're the person that I think you are, when I asked you, you're like, well, no, that's not what I'm doing because I'm considering other things. Then I said, okay, cool. That's good. But if you think it's as black and white as how it's presented and you don't have to consider other things, then no, that's not going to work over the long haul. But if I remember right, Andy, you were the guy that said, no, I'm considering other things. Is that you, Andy? Did you say you're the guy that's doing that, but you're also considering other things within the strategy itself? Is that you, Andy, or do I think that's you. Yes, it was. Just curious on how much you could lose from buying one of those accounts. Yeah, just the cost is the most you could lose is the cost of the account. That's why on Pam's plan here, it's a great way in terms of added risk control. It's a great way to protect your own money because if you get stuck in a crazy move, then yeah, maybe you lose the account. Maybe you lose thousands, which causes you to fail the test. But you're personally not losing thousands, just the account. So that would be just. Right there would be your actual loss, whatever the cost of the account actually is. Or if you're doing like a 25, then it would be, the 105. I think I need another monitor. I'm on 3. I used to use 4. Maybe I need to go back to 4 because I gotta I'm having to flip around too many windows. Yeah, Frank, I'll keep working at it. That has worked for in the past when I've added you as a member, so I don't know why you're still not able to. Yeah, well, I'll putz around with it more after the stream. Well, Kit was maybe right. She did say up. Yeah, it came down a little bit, but I mean, it respected those areas. 14-point scalp. Good job, Emmy. I don't know. Do I try a scalp right there if it wants to come back down? See what it wants to do. Well, it's not coming back down to me. Oh yeah, I don't know if you're fully in now. When you look in the left-hand column, like if you go to the lounge, yeah, you're fully in. I don't know what's up with message failed to load. That would be something on your end, but you are officially in for sure. When I look at the left-hand column, that's what it should look like. All right, I'm going to cancel that order out down there. Do I play the breakout for a quick little scalp? Yeah, I'm going to try for a quick little scalp up there. In, out, booyah. So I don't know, remember what that number was at, but I do know it increased. So if you blinked, you missed it. That was, well, with commission, it was a $60 trade, but commissions, because the buy is $2.50 per contract, to sell is $2.50. So $60 scalp there. So overall $55. So, whoops. So, again, if you blinked, you missed it. Just played a quick little breakout. So now I have right here, I don't know what the math. I can only go up to, yeah, so about $133, I think, if my math is right. Whoops. So nice little scalp there. Ooh, back down it goes. Well, again, if a long was playing a breakout of that 50 period and they were a scalp, plenty of room to scalp out. But that's where now, if people are looking for the breakout to get more continuation, they're probably a bit nervous at this point. Whereas the people that played the scalp, they're thinking, I'm glad I played that scalp, because yikes, as it came back down. Again, we have about 21 minutes. We need about 21 likes. So if we want the party to continue beyond the 2-hour mark, make sure you hit that like button. We got to get this up to 100 or $20 in super chats total. So if you are here, you're enjoying, you want the party to continue, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. There we go. Now we just need 19 more. Andy Wu never replied back, so I don't know what Andy. But I think Andy we might have been talking past each other. Because if I remember you right, then yeah, I'm not surprised that you passed because you were considering other things. You weren't just doing the strategy straight up. But I don't know why I'm still talking to Andy Wu because I don't think he's here anymore. Now, do you get short up around here with the stop above the high of this candle? I would not call you crazy at all if you thought to do that. Again, the idea that this is a faulty bounce and it'll roll back over. I could see that making sense. But you got to keep in mind how many points are you actually risking. You could be looking at the chart and saying like, oh, that's a very small amount. And then you look at it could be like a 60-point stop. So just keep that in mind. Andrew, go ahead and send me an email to clay@claytrade.com of somebody that you've grown their brand for. So there you go, Andrew. Really good day for scalpers. It could be a really good day or a really bad day. Joseph, open new account on Friday. Only 75 in winnings, was pulled away all day today. What size account is it, Joseph? I'm sitting outside today. You mean you're sitting on the sidelines today? What do you mean you're sitting outside? Maybe you meant you're sitting on the sidelines today, not necessarily outside. On the sideline. All right, there we go. That makes more sense. I mean, that's great if you want to trade outside. I just wasn't quite sure how that was relevant to the little conversation. Made a bear profit at morning open. Good. Good job, Rory. Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit the like button. We're only 15 away, so I think we got a chance at it. We're looking to short around 17,500. And where's your stop at, Emmy? If you're getting short at 17,500, where's your stop? It was okay. Well, I mean, better than a blown account, Rory. Just above it. Okay, well, what number is just above it? Not saying you're wrong, Emmy, just curious. So you want to get short at 17,500. Maybe we can trade vicariously for you. But what exactly, where'd your stop loss be? Just above it is not an order that you can enter in. As far as I'm aware, you have to type in numbers. You can't be like just above. I'm not aware of the just above order. 17. All right. Hey, I like it. A man that's like, all right, yeah, I'm going to put my money where my mouth. I'm not going to sit here and armchair quarterback things. So basically right there is the entry point. And then the stop is 515. So we'll just go. Oh, whoops. So where's 515? Basically right there. Okay, there we go. We'll make that white or yellow just to represent. Okay, getting close. Getting close. Emmy about to be in. Emmy about to be in. Getting short there. His stop loss is that second line. How do you close your trade? Well, if you're long, you have to sell to get out. If you're short, you have to buy to get out. What are your thoughts on how to deal with the intraday trailing drawdown in the pro cushion zone? Yeah, just be extra aggressive. Just be extra aggressive, scalp, or just drag or get in, and then as it goes in your favor, just keep on dragging that stop loss down. Yeah, 50K, Joseph. So if 50K is the account you're doing, your profit target is 3,000. So the rule is in the test phase, you're not allowed to make more than 50% of that. What's 50% of that, Joseph? Again, your profit target to pass is 3,000 in the test phase, but you're not allowed to make in a single day more than 50% of that because they don't want you YOLOing. So how much are you allowed to make? Oh, did you get filled there or not? I think, did it hit it? Look at that. Nope, you didn't. It didn't quite hit. I don't think it went up to 15. Oh my goodness, Emmy, you were so close. You were so close. I mean, it looks like, but I don't know if I had that exactly at 15. Or did you get filled right there? This is definitely a sketchy area where I could see longs being scared, and I can see shorts feeling kind of confident. Again, between this orange line, which is Friday's close, and the overnight high. But this right here, resistance zone right there, flat out rejected the price down. But does this continue out? And if so, is that a key area of resistance? That's something that'll have to be watched. Now, granted, right now it's got to get up to where it's at right now. But overall, like I said, this is an area that I could see eyeball. So in other words, I could see people, again, I'm not saying this is, but I could see people getting short here and then stops above those highs right there. So a minimal risk box. And if they do get a rejection back, you could be looking at a whole lot more. But yeah, I could see that making sense. So this area here as the resistance zone. So do you get short somewhere right around there with your stop up over there? I don't know. That's all dependent on your analysis, your personal risk tolerance, all that good stuff. But right now, it's more of a pullback. Hey, Ken, good to see you. Do they penalize you for going over? Ken, I thought I scared your way. I'm glad to see you back. Do they penalize you for going over the daily profit or just, or does the overage just not count towards about? They adjust your profit target. So no, so to answer your question, yes, they do penalize you, but they do not penalize you in the sense of failed test, your account's gone, but they will adjust your profit target. You're out. So you did get filled on that? Wow, you nailed the top of that, Emmy. Credit where credit's due. You called it out beforehand. You told us your stop beforehand. And I mean, you basically nailed that thing. All credit to you. None of that done in hindsight. You told us beforehand. Credit to you. Credit to you. Yes, Andrew. Take profit allows scalping. Yep. I see the volume bar is gray. Is that preference, Clay? Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know if you can change volume bars. But yeah, that doesn't bother me. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm not sure if you can change those or not. But for me, it doesn't really matter, so I'm not quite sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines since we know that trade worked out. So now we got ourselves an interesting trend line. We have ourselves an interesting situation. So I think if we take this and connect those, are we going to have a nice trend? We are. Amazing. This is going to bring a tear to my eye. Check this out, the power of charts. So by connecting that point with that point, so I connected those 2 points. Look what it did in forecasting. It forecasted that area of resistance and that area. Amazing. Charts are an amazing thing. They're not perfect. Nothing is perfect, but I would argue learning technical analysis is a wise move. Amazing. Again, all I did was I only connected these 2 points. So moral of the story, moving forward, you got to think a lot of people are watching that level. A lot of people are wondering, is that going to be a resistance again? Or is that finally going to be the golden goose breakout point? If it does break, then I can see the profit targets initially being this resistance zone here that I already talked about. So if somebody's getting multiple contracts, I could see them locking in some contracts right there and then moving their stop up to, break even or whatever. And then if the price can push up through there, then yeah, it could get moving that much more. Can you gift someone an account? Yeah. You are able to you're able to give accounts. That is true. Yes, because there's people that do account giveaways and stuff like that. Which does remind me, I want to start to do some of those, but So many things to do. All right, this is, yeah, like I said, you got to think a ton of people are watching this trend line here. I mean, a beautiful trend line. Beautiful trend line. We need 11 more likes in the next 10 minutes or $20 in super chats to keep the party going. So if you are enjoying and you want the party to continue, hit that like button. Like I said, I'm open to going for more than 2 hours. I just got to see if people are still interested, but I got to be able to gauge interest. And the only metrics I know how to use to gauge interest are, like I said, like button and super chats. So if you want the party to continue, we got to get this up to 100 likes in the next, like I said, basically 9 minutes. Or, like I said, if somebody wants to show up as the knight in shining armor with a $20 super chat. Ooh, this is kind of... Ooh, boy. I'm going to try a little scalp at that point. In and out. Booyah. So that was another quick little scalp. I don't remember what that was. The number was beforehand, but that was fluctuating really quickly. And yes, why did you do a scalp? It bounced beautifully off there because I just don't have a lot of wiggle room left because this is a test account. And within the test account, I'm at 1422 now. And I'm only allowed to make $1,500 on it because, again, for those of you that are maybe not familiar, within the world of prop firms, there's different rules. And with this one during the test phase, they don't want you to just go YOLO, right? Make one trade YOLO and, okay, good, I passed the test. It's like, okay, but was there any skill there or is that just pure gambling luck? So that's why during the test phase, they're like, you can't make more than 50% of your goal. So like I said, this is a $50,000 account, meaning the profit target is $3,000. So can't make more than $1,500 in a day. Now, once you get to the pro account, where once you make money, you get to keep the money, then yeah, you can make as much as you want on any day there. But with this, because I'm in the test phase on this particular account, I got to be very, very careful. Because if I would have held, that thing would have pushed me over $1,500, and then it would just wouldn't have been worth it. So that's why I'm just kind of nickel and diming things here. But another successful trade, just a quick little scalper shot. All right, only 4 more likes. Let's go. 4 more likes. Are you? I am Central Time. I'm in Iowa, so I'm like as central. Well, maybe Nebraska would be like as Central Time as you can get. But I'm pretty close, like straight up in the center. But yeah, I'm on Central Time. All right. I would not blame you at all to get long here. Like I said, you just saw me play a little bit of a long bounce off that area, just from a scalping standpoint. Again, no guarantees. That's why risk management matters. But again, I would not call anybody crazy if they're thinking, I think this thing could get a little bit of a bounce from here. In fact, do you buy here if it comes up and then you have a clear stop down there at the bottom of that candle? I could see, well, again, that's going to be, but I could see that working again. You get long here because if it fills you, you're looking at a hammer candle, then you have a well-defined stop down there. Maybe that's how you play it. I don't know, just thinking out loud. Got to do what makes sense to you. And those ones are always nice because if you wait for it to come up to you, then you're not trying to catch the bottom. At least if it comes up to you, it's giving you a candle. It's showing some strength. But I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but I'd rather get filled down here than all the way up there. Everything's got the give and take. So there's give and take to everything. Very good on the, let's go. 3 more likes to protect against the JJ effect. So 3 more likes puts us at 101. So if you want the party to continue, hit that like button. Again, do you wait to get filled up here? Because then at least you're looking at a hammer candle. The hammer candle is occurring at the 50-period moving average. You have a well-defined stop. Or maybe you're looking at that and saying, I think that's a disastrous trade plan. Cool. Fair enough. Again, as long as people are thinking with some logic, that's the name of the game. We don't want to be doing things that are just totally random. But let's see if it can come back up here. Again, my crosshair is kind of the experimental. In fact, let's just... Again, why am I not taking this trade? Well, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room in this test account. And all my other accounts, I'm good for the day. This one down here is a pat. Whoop. The bottom one, I don't even know if you can see it, is a past test. So I don't want to touch that one anymore. That's a past one. That one was blown. This one is the one that I'm trading, and then the top one up here is my pro account, which is qualified for payouts right now. And I don't really want I don't want to burn that one at all. I'm qualified for payouts, so I don't want to do something stupid and then disqualify myself from payouts. But at the end of the day, I will be qualified. So that's why I'm not touching that top one. So I'm kind of pigeonholed into this is the only one I can use right now at this point. Yeah, all right. I don't like this anymore as the entry point because now your stop would be way down here. Do you get in right here with the stop below? I could see that being a get long with the stop below here because even below there is now a nice round number, 17,300. So I don't know. I could see, like I said, nothing's guaranteed to happen, but I see the logic. I see the logic of, well, I'm going to get long here because I got a clean stop right here, and let's see if this can bounce. Again, does not mean it'll work. Risk management matters, but I would not accuse you of just doing something degenerate, doing something totally random. I see the logic. I do indeed see the logic. Are people just not talking anymore, or what? No, I guess so. I think the chat box still works. We're at 100 likes. Fantastic. The party will continue, but just the chat box has gone quiet. What's up with that? Come on now. Again, that's kind of our little stop loss here that I could see working, but where's this trend line at? Maybe these are the two golden goose trend lines right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the wedge right here. This is the wedge that, again, I'm not a genius for seeing this. Let's just get this out of the way. But this is the wedge here that you've got to think everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn. Talked about the top part already, that red line or that yellow line there, how it was just, beautiful connecting those. Then you projected that one and that one. Now you have that one, you connect that with that, which projected that one and that one. So that this line here. Now, I'd be scared. Now, I'm just me thinking out loud. I would be very scared to short the breakdown here. Why would I be scared? Because not that far away, you have the 200 period moving average, which could very realistically provide a bounce point. So, again, it could break that trend line and then just cut through that pink line like a warm knife through butter. But me personally, that's kind of scary. This chart looks like a fade and dump pattern. We'll see. We'll see if it's a dump. I mean, it's certainly faded. I'll give you there. Is it going to dump? It very well could. Like I said, I would just be a little nervous to short there because of you have the 50 or the 200 period not that far down below. So it doesn't mean it won't work, but how are you exiting the trade so fast? Because I'm using ATM orders where by using the program, you can tell where you can. So watch right here. I could say I want to sell, and then I have 2 orders in right now. Just like that, I have 2 orders in. Now I'm going to cancel that out, but that's how, because it's baked into the platform tools. All right, here we go. Grab your popcorn. It is approaching the slower trend line. What's going to happen here? This is better than any sort of Hollywood movie. What is going to happen here? I want to be short now at the very bottom of the fade. Well, when do you get short? This chart looks like a fade and dump pattern. Okay, fair enough. So when do you get short within a fade and dump pattern? That would be the question. What does ATM mean? I don't know. What does ATM mean? At the market or I don't know. But right here, you can set up any sort of ATM order you want. But yeah, hey, Kelvin, good to see you. Now, I've never heard of the fade and dump pattern. So I'm curious, within the fade and dump pattern, where's the entry point actually at? Advanced Trade Management. Thank you, James. There we go. That's what ATM stands for. Advanced Trade Management. All right, here we go. Are we going to get a bounce? Or are you going to get well, it's not quite to that line, but I mean, this wedge here, like I said, I'm not trying to impress anybody by having that drawn in there. It's my contention that a bunch of people have drawn those 2 trend lines. So a bunch of people are watching. So there is always that possibility of some self-fulfilling prophecies. But right now, is it going to bounce, or are we about to witness a big old flush? Here it comes, and boom, right at it. Like I said, I would be scared to short there because I could see it dropping onto that pink line and then bouncing back up. So I would not take that short, but that's just my opinion. And there it is, just bounce right off it. So now, I guess in hindsight, I should have bought the trend line, but for the reasons I've explained now about 37 times, I'm kind of, sort of, maybe done for the day. But there we go, right off that line. Once again, the power of trend lines. Power of trend lines. How do we turn on ATM? You just come up here. So you can turn it off or on, and then if you want to build one, you come over here and you can do all the things to it. But we got to watch this action right now. Look, you took the bounce, Frank? Very good job, Frank. Buy stop above the closed green candle, then stop below the 200. Okay, I like Immortal Trader, as I think he's telling us stuff beforehand. He's not hindsight trading, so I got nothing but respect there. Buy stop above the closed green candle. So right here. Okay, so he wants to see this above here. So he's getting in about 320. His stop is down here. So you're running about 100-point stop, the Immortal Trader, give or take? Is that what you're looking at, about 100-point stop? Assuming I understood what you're saying there, right? We're getting some lower shadows. Is that a bounce we're smelling or what? Or are the shorts just trying to sucker us in here? I don't know. Here we go. Back down. We're going to try that line again. Right at it. As of right now, bouncing right off of it. If you're enjoying this sort of commentary here, make sure you hit that like button. I'm always curious kind of what do people enjoy the most. But this is some good stuff right now. I'll take this over any sort of movie. Why don't you take more risks, make more money if you have multiple accounts? Well, I've already explained that, Andrew, several times now about why I'm kind of pigeonholed right now. Today I'm pigeonholed. And you've been here to hear that explanation, so that's why. Look at that. Right off that trend line. Very quickly again, one account I blew. Another account I passed. Another account is my pro account, and I'm in payout territory, and I don't want to mess that up. And the other account is this one where I don't really have any more wiggle room left, or else I'm at risk of making too much money. That's why. Amazing. The power of charts. The power of charts right off of that level. Frank took the bounce. Did it again. Love it. Good job, Frank. So Frank took the trend line twice, got the bounce. Oh, brother. Now, Rory, please don't. I don't feel like talking about that. It's always funny when you see that. Instead, just hunt down stop loss. No, there are no stop losses being hunted, Rory. Please stop thinking that. Wildest day of Wall Street. I'm still waiting for your answer, Ilan. You said that there's a fade and dump pattern, and I asked you, well, where do you get short on a fade and dump pattern? And you were not answering. I'm curious. I've never heard of the fade and dump pattern, but I have not heard of all patterns because I'm not the be all end all. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where do you get short? Don't be one of these guys that tells us what we should have done when everything's already happened. Like right now, where do you get short? In at 269, out at 310. Whoa. That's a nice 41-point scalp. Fantastic. Good for you. That's a great scalp. Right there off the trend line. First time catching you live, Clay. This is great. Oh, good, Sam. I'm glad you're enjoying. Hey, dude. How do you deal with bid ask always moving off screen? I asked because I'm using this. Oh, this right here? Yeah, I don't use it. I just put it here because I know some people like to enjoy it, but yeah, I don't use that for anything. Firmament. Hey, thanks for the sub. Yeah, I don't use it. I just put it there because if it wasn't there, people would be like, do you use the super or do you use the Dom? Can you at least put the Dom on there? Because I do use it, so I like to watch it. So I put it there just for other people. But yeah, I don't personally use it. Right here, I currently have, well, I had 4 accounts. But that one's roasted, so I'm down to, I have 3 accounts here. But I do have other past tests that I just haven't activated to the pro account. All right, we're going to get it. Now, this is where I don't know if I feel comfortable going long here anymore because at this point, How many more bounces are we going to get off this thing? Now, I certainly still don't feel comfortable going short because, again, of that pink line right below. And you don't want to get a situation where you short the trend line here just to have the price bounce off the pink line. And you're like, well, that was a losing trade. But like I said, I don't know if I feel good going long here anymore either because, I mean, let's see. Basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, how many more bounces does this thing get before it finally gives up? So we do have a little miniature pattern right here. We have basically this area of resistance, and then we have the trend line right there. So we almost have like a little miniature wedge. If we connect this down, then if I put the golf hole up here, so upside down pennant pattern. So bear pennant is what you could call this. Now, just because something's bearish doesn't mean it's for sure going to go down. But if you sit there saying, Clay, I see the bear pennant, I think this thing's gonna get continuation. No guarantees to happen, but I would say, okay, I see what you're saying. Good job on not behaving like a degenerate and doing random things. You believe there to be a bear pennant. You believe that the bear pennant is going to get continuation to the downside. Fantastic. As long as you're managing risk, that's what matters. But again, I don't necessarily, that would make me personally worried for the reasons I've already discussed. But if you're like, no, Clyde, I think you're overreacting to that. I think you're wrong to think that. Cool. We'll agree to disagree. Somebody will be right, somebody will be wrong. But as long as we're both thinking for ourselves, managing risk, that's the name of the game. As long as we're both putting some logic behind our decisions, that's what I like to see. No harm at all in seeing things slightly differently. But if you're like, I don't know, I'm just doing stuff. I'm just gambling. I'm just doing things randomly. Why did I get in there? I don't know. Because I felt like it. It's like, all right, at that point, you're not a trader. You're just a degenerate gambler. Trump just tweeted on track for eliminating capital gains. Yeah, I'm sure Trump is thinking, like, how do I get the attention? How do I get the press off the stock market headlines? Like, what can I do? We've got to get the headlines off of the stock market. So I'm sure Trump and his team right now are like, okay, what else can we think of? We gotta change the news cycle here. I mean, I'm waiting for the tweet that's like, there's no more taxes at all. Do you have a Discord? Yeah, I have a Discord. Yep. My Discord. Wow, this again. Once again. Okay, we got to watch. Here we go at the bottom. Does it really bounce again? As of now, it's wow, another bounce. Maybe we'll see. I blew about 15,000 pounds last year. I'm never trying. Well, Abdul, that's why you should be using prop firms. You're a walk. First off, oh, there it is. There's the break. All right. Got to be worried. Got to be aware. I don't know. If you're short here and scalping, down here might not be a terrible idea to pull at least some profits off. Because if it bounces off there. Alon, you still have not given us any sort of entry point. So right now, you're just kind of, you're armchair quarterbacking. You're telling us patterns, and that's fine. But like, okay, within that pattern, like, where would you be getting short? Andrew, claytrader.com. Everything is found there. Claytrader.com. Clay, did you catch that enormous bull run this morning? I did, Mad Mac. I caught enough of it to help get my pro account off the struggle bus. So yes, I've talked about it now several times, so I'm not going to go back and talk about it again. But yeah, that big bull move was good. I also roasted an account, which I'm so glad I did, because had I not been using a prop firm and had that been that my real account, my real money, that thing would have. Look at that. Is that not what I said? Again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm patting charts on the back, tactical analysis on the back. This is when I should turn this into a sales pitch, because you all just heard me talk about everything that's playing out right now. So watch this. This is going to really irritate the people that are offended if you sell stuff. So if you'd like to learn more, check out my training mentorship program right there. Link in the chat room. Check it out. No hindsight here. I'm 17, man. That's awesome. You're already interested in the markets at 17. It took me to age like 22, I think. And I traded options on my dad's account with my own money and lost about 2,000. Yeah, pig. That's kind of you're making an argument for Pam's plant. Okay, well, I'm still asking, like, so within that pattern, the bottom of the range is where you would get short anyways. Trade of 8 is getting irritating again. Now my scale is by 20s. I was Well, you can try clicking right here, the zoom out. The zoom out can change things, but the scale also changes based on the volatility of the market. So that's part of it too, Emmy. Like your scale is going to be bigger if the market is more volatile. All right, it's trying to make a move. Back up. Or is this just the back test before it heads back down? So we had some people play the bounces off this trend line. Did anybody actually take that short? Yeah, pig. Sorry to hear that. Through 2,000. I mean, you could have gotten a lot of prop firms with $2,000, and not to mention, options has theta, and theta is just torture. You took the short. Nice job, Mark. Very good job. Shorted 283 with stop at 293 and close it at 261. You are on a roll, Frank. Very good job. Whoa! What time is it? Okay, it's 1 o'clock. Was there news at 1 o'clock? Or did Trump just tweet? Okay, we're up to the top part of this trend line. Let me extend this out. Is it going to care? It don't care right now, doesn't seem. Was there news? Did Trump tweet something? It is 1 o'clock Eastern, so there's a possibility that maybe something was just released right now at 1 o'clock. Well, I hope any shorts there were scalping or had the stops, because if not, and they're using prop firms, they're toast. Because this was basically a 300-point move. That is insanity. Insanity. But for anybody that took a long, please tell me somebody was taking a long down around that 200 period. No scheduling. So did Trump tweet something? What? What happened? Wow. And again, I'm just throwing this out there for those of you, just not bragging on myself, but bragging on charts. Where did I say that resistance zone was? I've been talking about this resistance zone time and time again. Where did it get rejected back down in the crazy move? Right in the middle of that resistance zone. And no, none of that is armchair quarterback trading. If you've been on the stream for, I don't know, last time I talked about it was maybe 15 minutes ago. The resistance zone, booyah, there it is right there. I don't know. Something happened. Again, if you're enjoying the commentary, if you like kind of how things are, I'm breaking down things, trying to kind of talk through things, make sure you hit that like button. That's a very straightforward way to support the channel, to show that you're enjoying. And, yeah, wild action today. No doubt about it. Very wild action. So look at that. Now that line has been gone right back to acting as resistance. Look at that. Boop. Acting as resistance once again. So now do we get some sort of... So are you short? Ilana, are you short? So do we get some sort of movement like this now, where now kind of maybe consolidates out and then makes the move? Because even right now, I mean, in my opinion, I would be scared. It's because to buy the break there, I mean, and your stop is down there. That's the only place I can really see to make a stop. I mean, that's a lot of risk. Whereas if this thing can kind of go sideways and maybe give you a stop right there and then break, at least you're took a short at 450. Oh, okay. So it looks like he caught it back as it dropped back below the trend line. Good trade. 10 minutes ago, JP Morgan, Chase CEO, no, 10 minutes ago it was not 1 o'clock. I mean, that was very specific at 1 o'clock. Which is why I was wondering if there was some sort of news or something. How you been doing, Clay? I've been doing good, Martin. How are you? Well, at this point, is this thing going to give up all... So now we have to start to think of the psychology of anybody playing this long. If you played this long and then you see this coming down here, your spirits are being crushed right now. So is this just some sort of setup for now continuation of the downside? This is better than, yeah, exactly, Casey. Any of this action is better than any movie. Great, finished up on the day. Good, Martin. Hopefully, great means that nice and green. Again, the power of, like I said, right into that resistance zone, which I've talked about. People, learn charts. I'd love to be the person that helps you learn charts. But if you don't think I'm a good teacher, you don't think I know what I'm doing, fair enough. Don't sign up for my stuff. But if you do, I think you should consider signing up. I think that would be a logical move. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line down here. I think it served its purpose for now, and I think the main level now that the market's probably caring about is going to be that pink line there, 200 period moving average, and then of course the dotted the dotted yellow line down there, the VWAP. Yeah, so this, for a moment, this thing had a very good potential of building out some sort of little like pennant here. Had it stayed up here, then you would have had, some sort of resistance there. You could add a support right there. And then, with that up there, golf hole down here. And then you could, but it broke down too much. So that whole possibility now has been wiped away to sit there and be like, oh, look, we have a potential at a bull pennant. No, not really anymore. Right now, it seems as though do you get long at the 200 period with a stop below the VWAP? I could see that maybe making sense, but yeah, I don't know. Trying to think, do you do a breakout? So do you maybe get long break of the 50 period with a stop down there? But that's a very big stop. But let's make a move over 110 likes on this thing. So can we get at least 2 more likes out there? Let's get up. The goal is 120. So yeah, we're even past. So I'll go another 15 minutes at 2 hours and 30 minutes, but we're going to need 12 more likes. So if you are enjoying, hit that like button, and we'll keep the party going. But let's get this up to 120 because that's the goal for the day, is 120 likes. Amazing how NASDAQ looks like a penny stock chart today. No, I know what you mean because of the volatility, but this is smooth. Let me show you what a penny stock chart looks like, right? I understand what you're saying, but this is why futures are amazing, because you look at a stock right now, and stocks are just so choppy. They're not fluid. They're not smooth. This is smooth movement. So like if we pull up a 2-minute chart, because that's what we're looking at here. So 2 minutes on, I don't know, what's a penny stock today? I don't know. Let me look up something real quick. Let's find ourselves a penny stock. A penny stock with a lot of volume today. All right, so CHSN, 129 million shares. CHSN. Like, do you see how this is not smooth? There's like a choppy feel to it. Does everybody see that? Like, so here's a penny stock, same time, 2-minute time frame. They're just, to me, this does not look as smooth as this right here. You have all these situations where, look at this thing. This candle's barely moving. Like, look at this candle. It's not budging. It's just it's sitting there. It's waiting. Look at that. It's not moving. Hello? Hello? Oh, there. Oh. Whoa. Finally, it moved. So trading stocks, trading penny stocks, or trading this, where it's just constant movement and smooth movement. That's why Pam's Plant, right? Pam's Plant, day trading. If you're in that category, you want to be day trading futures through a prop firm. Undefeated. No one has been able to tell me how that's a bad idea yet. People have accused me of things, but nobody's been able to tell me how that's a bad idea. Made some good money today. Done for the day. Well, I'm still waiting. Were you thinking about taking a 100-point risk on that one? The Immortal Trader? FUBU. Oh boy. We're not looking at... Yeah. We're not going to go down that path. Hey, there we go. And wait, no, I said 120 likes. So yeah, we got about 10 minutes to get 8 more likes or $10 in super chat. One of the two. Hey, Jillian, good to see you. Yeah. I could see trying to play a breakout here with an idea of trying to get up to at least test the trend line. But again, if your stop is here, it's really just a question of, do you feel comfortable with this amount of a risk box, give or take? But if the price can get up there, yeah, you're about a 1-to-1. Now, obviously, if your thesis is not only will it get up to that trend line, it'll break through it, then yeah, maybe you can get some more of it. But it's become very apparent now that pink line, or excuse me, the purple line right there is a key level of resistance. I mean, now we have 2 candles that have rejected right off it. But yeah, if it breaks up through there, again, no guarantees, but could I see it, picking up some momentum to do battle with that trend line up there again? I could see that happening. But we got to see. And I am going to do, at least one more time, a recap of my day, especially the one that shows just really how powerful prop firms are from a risk management standpoint, because today could have been really disastrous for me with my old ways before Pam's plant. But thanks to Pam's plant, today has been a great success. Even with a roasted account, a great success, which may sound a little backwards, but stick around and I'll explain how having roasted one of my prop firm accounts, it's still a great day. And look, once again, down it goes. So yes, this is getting interesting. But now this is also interesting from the short side, because we're getting, if I extend that out, we're getting a bear pennant. So where's this bear pennant? We have the lower part of the pattern here. We have the top part of the pattern right there, that 50 period. We have the downwards move right there. We have the golf hole up here for you golfers, upside down pennant, which is considered a bear pennant. Now, just because something's bearish does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go down. But would anybody here just be shocked? Be like, whoa, I did not see that coming if this thing were to come down here and break down through there? I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. But again, I'm still pretty fascinated by a break to the upside of that purple line. Like, what happens if this thing is actually able to break to the upside? But yes, as of right now, bear pennant. Still sketched out with any sort of break to the downside of it. I got to take this call real quick. Hey, Chris. No, I'm on a live stream right now, but that's all right. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Just watch your language, Yeah. I don't think I forwarded you the email, but we do need to do one for the temp poll, and I was clicking through it, but like I had no idea what it was asking me. There were so many like questions. I'm like, I think Chris would understand this, so I can forward it to you then. That even if I did. Okay, I'm gonna text you, or can you text me your email? That works best, so I can forward it to you. Okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one. I did take a 120 point risk, and I left the screen. What do you mean you left the screen? Like you walked away? Gold is dumping. Chappy day. Glenna, do you happen to be from, are you from the UK? What is chap? Isn't that oh, look at that young chap. Isn't that like a UK thing? Or is the H supposed to be an R? Let's see. Where's the H and R at on my keyboard? I don't know. That'd be a pretty big typo. And what was your position? What did you trade, Immortal Trader? I'm hoping it was 1 MNQ. Is that what you traded? 1 MNQ? I mean, 120 point risk. I mean, I get it. I understand that on a day like today. Like that's not like mind blowing, but I would hope that it was probably like 1 MNQ if you were taking a 120 point risk. All right, here we go. It did break through that purple line, which is what I was talking about. And then I mentioned the first target being this trend line right here. Whoops. So we'll see, can it get up to that target or not? So if you're a scalper, you're good. Scalpers are already green. If you're looking for more than a scalp, I mean, maybe you already took some off and your stop is at break even now. I wouldn't. In fact, I mean, do what you want. This is entertainment. But if it were me, I'd be like, all right, I'm putting my stops like right here for sure. Make sure it's a green trade. Maybe take some profits off. But worst case, I mean, I would hope even if you're not a scalper, you got your stop loss at least to break even. There we go. Price target hit. Now does it push through? This has been a very annoying area. There we go. There was the golden goose point down there, that purple line. Purple line. Can we get more push? We need in less than 5 minutes, we need 7 more likes. So if you're enjoying this commentary, if you're like, if maybe you even took that, hit that like button. Hit that like button. We got to get this up to 120 likes to keep the show going. I have not determined yet. We are currently we're in Iowa. We bought acreage in Iowa. We're building a house in Iowa, and I determined that I want to be the general contractor on it. Try to learn something. I'm still trying to figure out if I enjoy being the general contractor or not. But right now I gotta forward an email to the electrician real quick. What is this? Electric, Iowa. Oh, there we go. All right. Again, the longs are not out of the woods yet. Well, it all depends on strategy. I mean, if you play that breakout and you were not a scalper and you're letting the thing work for you, you are getting paid. But here we go. We're entering the resistance zone. All right. Here's the front door of the resistance zone. Back door of it is the overnight low at 17,570. Once again, as of now, smack down by that resistance zone. So we'll see. Email forwarded, period. Where in Iowa? Have you ever been in Knoxville? I live in Knoxville. Is that where you're at, Jeff? Are we neighbors, Jeff? I live in Knoxville currently, and I will be building in Knoxville. Oh, yeah, we got less than 2 minutes. We got to get 2 more likes. Look at that. Right off that resistance zone. That is a annoying spot up there for the longs. Once again. 2 more likes. In a minute and a half, we got to get 2 more likes for the party to continue. There is 1 like. This resistance zone here. I go there every August. Oh, so you're a race car. I can't remember what they're called. Not what kind of race cars are, is it? Is it stock? Not stock. I'm not a race fan. Yeah. Most people have heard of Knoxville because of the raceway. Okay, we need 1 more like in 1 minute. Is there any other likes out there? Once again, this area. So now it's really become one of those areas where if it does break, you got to think that that's going to be an area that creates some momentum because you would think that there's quite a few shorts out there that have noticed this too. And the shorts are saying, I'm going to put my stop loss above this zone. But if the price can, 122, 125, the party continues. Let's go. So in my mind, more than valid to think there are many stop losses hanging around up above that area right now. Get rid of that level. But rightfully so. This is, again, not impossible to break, but history has now officially shown us that, good grief, The longs are absolutely despising this area. Multiple times now, price has been up around that area, and it will just not give up. It will not give up, but it's always, there's always pros and cons. So the con being very, very stubborn area, very, very rough area. But the pro to that can be if you can actually get through those very stubborn levels, you can get some great movements in the upwards direction, even generated from just stop losses alone. So now it's just a question of, can it actually push up through there? Very, very stubborn, but we'll see. We'll see. It's knocking on the door right now. Okay, front door of the resistance zone. Front door. It's trying to, cops, they're banging down the door. Okay. Back door of the resistance zone right here. All right. As of now, maybe it can give it another try. So got through the front door that time, but the back door right there, boom, knocked it back down. No knock warrant. Yeah, there aren't no warrants. There are no warrants in this sort of stuff. You just show up and you can just go. So the shorts, they're sweating. As of now, they're saying, okay, I'm hanging in by the skin of my teeth. And right there, now the front door has gone back to acting as resistance. You can see right off that orange line. But it's trying. The bulls are not, right now, they haven't been just flat out rejected. But yeah, you got to think there's stops hanging right up above 17,600. Again, none of this means there's guaranteed to be a big breakout, but it goes back to the plausibility. Like you were to tell me, Clay, I think there could be a big breakout with 17,600. Not guaranteed to happen, but I totally understand your logic. I get it. I see where you're coming from. But right now the shorts are saying, hey, Clay, let's not count our chickens before they hatch, because this resistance zone right now, it's hanging strong. It is holding strong. So again, on the flip side, I do not think you're crazy at all. If you're going, Clay, I'm getting short right now. I got my stop there, and if this thing rolls back over, my risk relative to my reward is very much in my favor. I totally get that too. I get it. Why am I not trading in any of this? Because I'm pigeonholed on the day. With the way the prop firms work in my accounts, I'm essentially done for the day. So the best I can do right now is kind of just commentate and give my thoughts, but I passed an account. I have my pro account in payout territory, so I don't want to risk messing that up. And then this account here, I'm basically at my max that I can make anyways. So like I said, I'm pigeonholed and can't really trade right now. But yeah. So the longs that were maybe trying to buy up here in the zone, they're probably saying, I probably should have waited for confirmation. But the shorts right now, they're feeling pretty good. If they can get some more roll down though. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have not heard any other people on Tradovate with that occurring to them. I don't know. Like I said, mine's been perfectly fine. Is anybody short? Anybody long? Where do people stand right now? Or is nobody doing? Maybe I should do a poll. Like, where are people? How are people playing this? Are people playing this because they think they're long, or are people playing this short? Let me know. Like I said, this is a very, very well-watched level at this point. Like, no, this is not some sort of secret discovery. So it's no coincidence that right now this has been acting as a resistance. But what's worrisome for the shorts is it's not rolling back over. It's holding strong right now. In fact, as I speak, it's once again trying to knock on the front door of that resistance zone. Elon is short at 500. Uh-oh. Where's your stop at, Elon? I'm guessing 600. You got about a 100-point stop? I made it to second phase. What will happen now? They'll approve you. But nothing today, because today's got to end before you pass. Good job on passing, though. Nicodanes is short. Okay. The more you click the button, the more risk you're adding to your capital. Okay, so if you're wrong, Elon, your account's basically roasted. 150-point risk. Why are you keeping your stop loss so far up there? What is up? Is that the one where you're using? 650. That seems very random. 650 just seems like, let's just do 650. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. 650. Yeah, I don't know. For a minute, I also hit my max for the day. Still watching because, man, yeah. I mean, this is great action. This is historic action. Like, Quite literally, this is like we're living in history. Yeah, sometimes I can be a little bit, exaggerate, but like, no, this is like historic action right now. Giovanni, I made take profit trader last week, activated Sunday, and today I got liquidated because I made 10,000 is Pro Plus. And I got liquidated because I made 10. I'm confused. I made a take profit last week, activated Sunday, and today I got liquidated because I'm very confused on what you're saying. I don't have a choice because they closed my account for the... Well, if you just made the account, then you're still in the test phase. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to answer that. I'm not... So, right. Okay. Once again, backdoor, rejecting. So this resistance zone holds strong. It got through the front door of the resistance zone, the orange line, but that pink line right there, once again, rejected it back down. Power of charts. We got, so the people here that are short, they're still feeling good. I don't know if anybody's long right now. Salty War Pig is long. He's on the ES, though. Well, yeah, I would hope you're trading smaller size, but 150-point risk, even on one MNQ, that's pretty big. He said he just went pro, and he made enough to where they were moving him to Pro Plus. Oh, I must have missed where he said he went pro. Yeah, exactly. If you make 10,000, then they move you to Pro Plus. Which is good, because now you'll get to keep 90% of what you make, not just 80%. I mean, this thing is coiling up. Coiling up. Are we about to see a 100-point breakout here? I mean, a 100-point breakout is only from here to here. So distance-wise, not that much. But when you say it as points, all right, knocking on the door knocking on the back door, but the resistance zone holds once again. It holds once again. Is it going to push through? But check this out. We got these higher lows. That move up right there. So we got the bull pennant. The bull pennant is in place. But the bull pennant is trying to deal with this very, very stubborn resistance zone. But is it going to break? Like I said, this is better than any Hollywood movie out there. The bull pennant. But right now, it's holding strong. It's holding strong. Nice, you're at 130 likes. Could we make a move up to 150? Maybe. Again, if you have not hit that like button and you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. That's a very clean, straightforward way to help support the channel, help support the live stream. And once again, it gets rejected back down, but each of these rejections, for the most part, is building higher bases. Bull pennant in play. Oh my goodness. I really wish people would learn a little bit more about how things work before they start throwing the word scam. That's just so irresponsible, because I've had that just rubs me the wrong way, because I've had people, like, I map out on my site how things work, and then people don't read about how things work, and then they're like, scam. It's like, no. It's there how it works. So Giovanni, I say the same thing to you. I would encourage you to take on a little personal responsibility. Read about how things work before you start throwing around the scam word. Just some life advice. It'll take you far, I promise you. Because it's not a good look to call something a scam when the problem is actually you didn't understand how things work because you didn't put in enough effort to learn about how things work. They're moving you to a live account. 5,000 of the money you've made will be put into your live account as a buffer. So if you lose 5,000 in the live account, okay, there's your buffer. Nothing, you're not being scammed. I just went down that rabbit hole. Again, sorry for the rant, but as somebody that's in the customer service business too, it's just It's disheartening when you put in time to like map out on your site how things work, and then people are just don't like read about it, and then they're like scam. All right, can it break through? I mean, it's pushing, it's holding up. The shorts have got to be sweating in their boots now because this thing is just refusing to roll back over now. To be fair, it's also refusing to break up through, but the fact that now, because all these other times the price has been up around that area, it's just rolled right back down. Like boom, rolled back down, boom, rolled back down, boom, rolled back down. But right here, this movement here, yeah, pulled back a little bit, but okay, we're through. Can it get up through the 600? Okay. Rejected right at the 600, which is not totally shocking. All right, here we go. Here we go. Like I said, I could very realistically see a 10 or 100 point move, which would quote unquote only take us up to that location on the chart. But there's the stops going off for the shorts. As mentioned earlier, you got to think that there's a lot of stops up around that area. Yeah, exactly, Judd. And then when your house falls over, they claim that it's a scam. There's a breakout. Only really question is, will a stop loss and such be able to carry it far enough? Again, that movement right there was just an arbitrary number. Like, okay, up there would be 100 points. Now we have is it back test and go? So is it going to back? So just the classic broke out. Is it going to come back down here? Back test the resistance, which now you think has a very real chance of being a support zone, and then move upwards. So if that's how you like to play it, right now you have the back test and go traders watching very, very closely, seeing will it move down to that area. So now the back test and go is fully locked in. Okay, here it comes back down. Again, depending on where you define the quote-unquote back test. Okay, there we go. Top of the zone right there. So if you're wanting to buy the back test right there, it just hit. Some people are like, no, I want to, here's the bottom part of the zone, that orange line. Okay, it has officially back tested. Now is it going to go? Does it make the move in the upwards direction here? We are at the back test here. Now, what is very, very sketchy is if it comes down here and knocks out these lows, that could become a short in a hurry to the downside. Because think about the psychology. So many longs, excited, that movement probably suckered people in, which I can see why. I can see people trying to catch some momentum. So I'm not saying people that were trying to buy and catch some momentum were necessarily wrong per se. But now you have to ask, how do all those people feel right now as they witness this candle? So if it breaks down through these lows here, is that going to create the point where everybody is irritated, frustrated, annoyed, sad, disheartened from the long side? Because as a short, those are some great emotions. And that's, wow, that's where it might be here. 17,500, is that like the disheartening point? Giovanni, I'll say this. If you made $10,000, you have $10,000 now. But because they're running a sustainable business model, they're moving you into the live account. And because it's a live account, you need to have a buffer within the live account, which is $5,000. Now, if you're like, no, I don't want to go in that account, then that's fine. They'll give you all $10,000 and they'll close the account down. But right now, you're doing so well, good job, that they're moving you into a literal live account. Which is why I also recommend them, because this is what actually makes them a sustainable business model. But if you made $10,000, you can get all $10,000 if you want. But you have proven to be a very, very good trader, so that's why they are now moving you into that Pro Plus account where you get to keep 90% of your gains, not 80%. Yeah, if you're like, no, I don't want to go to the Pro Plus account. They're like, okay, fine, then here's your money, but they're not going to let you stay in the account that you're in. So like I said, just And I'm telling myself this too, because I can default, I can get emotional. Before you start calling things scams, let's just make sure that you have an understanding of them. Okay. There we go. All right, I'm guessing they just removed my blown account now. Yep, all right. So my blown account is gone. For those of you that have seen it now, it looks all pretty, all green. But yeah, there was a blown account earlier. And again, the reason why I have not been trading is I'm pigeonholed. So on this account here, I passed. Is it showing up? No, you can't even see it, I don't think. Oh yeah, you can see it. So on this account here, it's a pass, so I don't want to touch that anymore. This account here, I only have a little bit left that I'm allowed to make since it's a test phase. And then this account up here is a pro account, and I'm at payout status, so I don't want to risk screwing that up. But yeah, they just the software glitched for a second because they were kind of cleaning up, so they just removed my blown account. So it looks so pretty, but if you were here earlier on in the live stream, you saw that it wasn't. So yes, that move right there. Again, if you scalped it, if you scalped the breakout of the resistance zone, that was 85 as high as, so I don't know, about a 65-point move. And then that move right there, pretty brutal, but it never did break down through those lows. So that's what I meant. That was kind of the lows right there at 17,500, was more so the disheartening point, but as of now, it has not broke down through. It did pull back, but it's respecting it. Now can it make another move back upwards? So me personally, if 17,500 fails, that would put me personally in more of a bearish mood at that point. Because again, you got to think about the psychology. A lot of people up here are long now. They're feeling good about being long. Wear it along, maybe put their stop loss, and I can see that stop loss being right down there below 17,500. So yeah, longs right now, they're sweating a little bit, but it did recover. When this was happening, they're like, oh no. But this curl back upwards here, got a chance. So we got to see if it can make another push up through here. But now again, shorts, let's think about the shorts. I would not call anybody crazy from the short side. I don't know if it was the best move, but you know shorts were piling in right here. Where do you think those shorts put the stop loss? In my opinion, those shorts that were piling on that candle have their stop right above the highs, right there, which would be 17,650. So if this movement down here can push up through there, it's valid, it's logical. If that starts to set off stop losses, we're going to be looking at another push. So our friend, who was that? Ilian, somebody just got stopped out at 650. They were in it, like I said, they were in at 17,500 and a 150-point stop. But right there. So this is getting very, very tricky. For it to break out and then come back down here and now curling back up. Let me put it this way. I'm glad I'm on the sidelines now. This is, yep, took a loss. Good job. Way to be disciplined. Way to be disciplined. Can't always be right. Can't always be right. Let's see if this thing wants to push up some more. Maybe I'll try a little scalp because I got a little room here for a scalp. But I don't know. Do I really want to roast this account? Because again, all it takes is an account roasted on a day like today, especially if you're doing an NQ. So yes, I'm talking about like, what do I really have to gain? Like I'm basically maxed out, so I could get within like $13 of being maxed out. But with such a volatile day, like, do I really want to? I don't think it's worth it. I've already made some, yeah. Yes, I'm talking to myself right now out loud. What is the PDT rule? It's a rule where in the world of stocks and options, if you don't have $25,000, then you are not allowed to day trade as much as you want. But in the world of futures, that rule does not exist. So you can day trade as much as you want every single day. I could see, and like I said, if I had some wiggle room, I could see myself getting short here. And then just a tight little stop above there. Low probability trade, but if you're right, and if it does come back down, then relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very nice risk-reward scenario. But again, I would consider this a very low probability trade. So yeah, enter at 650, stop a little bit above there, about 71. So we'll call it just about a 20-point risk. Again, 20-point risk here. Low probability trade, but the low probability nature is compensated by the fact of if you do happen to be right, and this thing comes back down, then relative to the 20 points you were risking, you could be looking at making way more than 20 points. Thank you, Clay. I've been watching your videos for years. Well, you're welcome, and thank you for watching. I missed it. Would I have been stopped out? I don't know. Nope, I'd still be in because 70 is... yeah, I think that move would have gotten me. Yep. So yeah, that one did not work. Like I said, low probability trade, but it was only, quote unquote, only 20 points. But if those types of ones can pay, then you can get some. You can be skipping through a field full of dandelions and butterflies. I think we can make it up to 150 likes on this one. If you have not hit the like button, let's make a run up to 150 likes. I'm kind of feeling good. This is fun action. Maybe we go a little bit beyond 3 hours today. I mean, at this point, why not? So yeah, I'll go a little bit beyond 3 hours, but let's get this up to, in the next 8 minutes, let's try to get this up to 150 likes to see if there's interest for that to occur or not. So that is the only way I know how to gauge interest is through likes and super chat. So if you'd like to see the party continue, make sure you hit that like button. Manual Plaster, heish, thank you. Well, you're welcome in whatever language that is. All right, so once again, and I should note that the people that played the back test and go, I would argue it worked because you had a stop loss location down here around 17,500. So the people that played the back test, it wasn't very clean, but the back test, it did eventually go. So now we're looking potentially at that same setup again. Does it come down here, find some support around this area, and then once again go? We'll see. Although at this point, I think we can get rid of, yeah, I would say that one served its purpose for now. So we'll get rid of that. Oh, I think we're going to do it. We got about 8 minutes for 5 more likes. I think we'll do it. Yeah, this is interesting enough that I want to get it in play now. Let's see. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that trend line right there as a resistance area. Then also... So we do have now a bit of a rising wedge forming, which is a bearish pattern. Now, as I've said already, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean the price is going to go up. Just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean the price is going to go down. But would it be shocking if this thing kind of putzes around and then eventually rolls back over and needs to go through a deeper pullback? I would not be shocked by that at all. So we'll see. We'll see if this rising wedge plays out. Yes, the rising wedge pattern is bearish. Now, maybe the market's about to be like, I'm about to kick your rising wedge in the face. And it's about to just blast through this top part. We'll see. Or is it about to go up here, get rejected back down? We'll see. Because again, no pattern's a holy grail. That's just what I'm seeing right now. All right, 3 more likes. Let's get it. Let's get up to 150. I'm about to be knocking right on the door of the top part of that trend line. So we'll see if it wants to come back down or not. Will the rising wedge show up? Well, it's already shown up, but is it going to actually play out? Now, right now, I don't really like, because even if this were to get rejected and come back down here, I mean, if you put your stop above the pattern, I mean, that's a lot. That's a huge risk box. But if it breaks down like right here, at least, and your stop's above the upper part of the pattern, at least the risk box is so much smaller. So even if it were to drop down here and go down, I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't take that short. I suppose there could be some people up here that are trying to go short off the top of the trend line, and then they don't really care about that. So as of right now, you can see rejected right off the top part of that trend line, but does it get any follow through is the question. So scalpers are good. Scalpers had if they were right there, they moved down enough, they've scalped out real quick. But if you're looking for a bigger move to the downside, those types of traders are not out of the woods yet. But there we are, right at the top. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Oh, we should make it 5 minutes for 2 more likes. Let's get this up to 151 for the JJ effect. 2 more likes if you want the party to continue. So right now it's hanging around. The power of charts. Isn't that amazing how it just all of a sudden was going green and then just putzes around? Doesn't mean that the price can't push through that upper trend line. I'm just saying it's not totally shocking of why the price is kind of struggling where it is all of a sudden. Trying to get through. And right there, the upper part of the rising wedge is being very annoying. There we go, 150. Let's go. Is it going to get rejected? It's putting up a fight. Those bulls are putting up a fight though too. They're not like, we're not gonna roll over that easy. It's up through. All right. It's see if it can push higher. I personally would feel very nervous to be buying that breakout there, but I would be wrong from a scalping standpoint for sure. Because if I was buying that breakout and looking to scalp, that's plenty of movement right there to scalp. I still may have been right if I were to say I want to see more movement, but yeah, I mean, I would not have bought that, and I would have been wrong. Let's do this real quick because I got to go, but I was how can I communicate that with people? There we go. Watch this. I'm thinking on the fly. Okay, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back real soon. Whoa, are you... What kind of... All right, let's get this out of here first off. Man, literally go to the bathroom and come back and it's been pure chaos. Amazing. Look right where that thing dropped down to the bottom of that pattern. That trend line. Oh, man. What a goofball move this is. I just... In my opinion, I mean, is there any other way to trade today? I think you have to scalp. Well, even if you didn't scalp, though, that was a nice move. Or to be fair, I don't know how fast this all moved. Maybe that wasn't even scalpable. Oh, wash your hands. Yeah. Wow. Well, if anybody was looking to play the bottom of that trend line, you got... Well, I don't even know. Was this possible? Did this happen like in a blink of an eye? That's how I hit 10,000. Yeah, I hear you, Vani. But I mean, think about what you're saying. Dude, you literally made $10,000. Fantastic, man. Congrats. Yeah, it was a flush. Okay, so it was possible that somebody could have... So this is... Yeah, wow. I mean, that is a beautiful candle. And then down. And then that fast back up. Wow. And of course, I was gone. That's the reason stops are so important. This is true. This is true. It's hard to argue against that. All right, it's 3 hours in, and we'll keep the party going, but I want to make sure there's interest. So let's get this up to 160 likes in the next 15 minutes, and I'll keep the party going. But we have to get up. We got to get another 10 likes, or I guess $10 in super chats in the next 15 minutes. No, I want to go for a record-breaking territory. So let's go 165 likes. 165 likes in the next 15 minutes, or $15 in super chats to keep the party going. What did everyone expect? Did they miss the 1,000-point drop last week? I'm not sure what you meant by that, Giovanni, in terms of... I don't know. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect today. Because all it takes over the weekend is for Trump to be like, well, we're either backing off on the tariffs, or we're going to keep them, or we're going to increase them, or they're gone. I mean, all it takes is one tweet, and like everything would have reversed around. So, I mean, it's... I get it right now. It's easy to be like, well, how do people not see all this coming? Well, yeah, it's easy to say that when it's already happened. But all I know is, Giovanni, you made 10,000 today. Good job. Congratulations to you. But I mean, I can tell you that in my hindsight trading accounts, I'm worth more than Elon Musk. My hindsight trading accounts are like loaded with money. Loaded. What's a 5-minute looking like? Well, it's heading back up here. I don't know. Do you go again? Low probability trade, but it could pay. Short right here at, I don't know, let's call it 760, and then stop over 780. So again, about 20-point risk. Again, low probability trade, but the low probability nature would be compensated via the fact that if it does roll over, you could be getting paid very nicely. So we'll see if it wants to come down. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line. I think it's served its purpose. This level, this triangle line here, though, we're definitely leaving that little bugger in play. I mean, amazing. Everybody, well, assuming you're here when I drew out the pattern, you saw me draw that line, and then that's right where that huge move came right off of. Amazing. Amazing. Or not. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, Rory. Maybe I missed one of your comments. I don't know what or not. We'll see if we can push up through that level. Or not. It's nothing. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what it is, but if it becomes something, let me know. Let the chat know. All right, pulling back. Is this trend line going to come into play again? We'll see. I'm still more fascinated by the former resistance zone down here. Doesn't that seem like such a long time ago when we were just like, that level was so annoying for the bulls? Now, is it going to be so annoying for the bears? Meaning, is that going to be an area where the price just refuses to drop down through there? We'll have to see. I'm a little... Usually people show up asking about stocks or like options or something, and then that is like, I can kind of like get on their case about Pam's plant, but I don't know. I don't know if we have any stock or options traders here right now. If we do, they're kind of quiet. So right now, just a waiting game to see what it wants to do. in regards to that area right there. Ooh, okay. I'm glad I checked the... Okay, so the 5 minute, this area right here at 17,800, key area of resistance. Basically, the high from here, and then when you look over here, essentially kind of a clump, just generally speaking. So this area, just broadly speaking, definitely a key level of resistance. So a break up through there, does that send us up to the pivot point of 860? I could see that happening. So yeah, 800, 17,800. Makes sense now why the price is struggling around this area. So shame on me for kind of losing sight of the 5 minute. But yeah, this right here, if I bring this line across, you can see that's essentially right where the key area of resistance is. But we're knocking on there. So yeah, my question is if it gets through there, does it head up to that pivot point right there at about the 860 mark? We'll see. Clay, do you play golf? I mean, I guess you could kind of call... No, not really. I mean, I've golfed. I will golf. But I like driving ranges and Top Golf better. I went to Top Golf in Scottsdale over the weekend. I would recommend. Yeah, Top Golf's fun. We actually had a meetup for my private community because we do meetups in person. And the most recent one was in at Top Golf in Scottsdale. Is that the one that's like right by the... is that a casino or is it just a hotel that's like got a bunch of lights that are flashing up? I think it's that one. If you remember that, then yeah, that's what we did at the last in-person meetup for the private community. It'd be super interesting to do a live meetup for the live stream chat box, but I think that might be a little risky. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that's the one that we were at last time. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Top Golf for sure. So we'll get the 5 minute out of here and we'll just kind of watch it on the 2 minute still, but... Oh, and by the way, this is, I had this on the, let me bring this over. But a person left this comment on a YouTube video, which just illustrates Pam's plant again, but right here. I was going to buy a 53 call on Nike, but I got scared because I did not have more day trades. There's a pattern day trader rule. So they wanted to do something, but they couldn't because of that pesky pattern day trader rule. And then they missed out on a huge trade because it went from 225 to 525. So again, if you can relate to that, that is where Pam's plant comes in right here, because the first rule here of Pam's plant, unlike what that person just suffered, I wanted to do something, but because of the pattern day trading rule, I was not able to do it. And then I missed out on what would have been a great trade. But in the world of futures trading, there is no pattern day trading rule. So quick little, I've been wanting to say that because that's so important. So if you're watching this as a stock or options trader and you've been there before where you wanted to do something, but you could not do it because you didn't have any day trades left or you didn't want to waste a day trade or anything, just understand that what you're seeing here, Pam's plant, futures trading through a prop firm, there's no pattern day trading rules. You can day trade as much as you want every single day. So if you want to learn more on that and support the channel, check out the link that's on the screen or just the link that's within the that's pinned at the top of the chat box. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. And I've heard that time and time again, which is why I love Pam's plant, because Clay, what do you recommend I do because of the pattern day trader rule? And now I can just be like, Pam's plant. That's what you do. Pam's plant. All right, we still need 11 more likes in the next basically 7 minutes. It's about 6 minutes in order for the party to continue. So right now this trend line being pretty stubborn. But as we already discussed on the 5 minute, 17,800 is more so kind of that golden goose area. But in fact, I'll just move to this 5 minute time frame real quick. But yeah, 5 minute you can see right here. That's definitely, if I were to, let me extend this out. There we go. So that's where we're struggling right now, right near that area. We'll go back to the 2 minute. Yeah, so now we can see that's where that line's coming from right there. So it's approaching it. It's trying to get through, trying to get up to it. Can it push up through there, though? There we go, there we go, there we go. But again, that's still in level of resistance. Still got work to do. If it can get some clearance up through 17,800, then again on the 5 minute where that pivot point is, right here I could see, what is that, 860 being a next potential price target area. Now, if you're a scalper, then you're probably not going to wait around for that. But if you're somebody that's thinking, okay, where could this thing potentially go? I could see that pivot point being an area where it could be headed. So it's pushed up through there. Now it's not. So the first question is good. The first check box is, can the price even break above a level? So that's good to see that it can break above it. Now on to the next check box, can it get continuation? Is it going to get more follow through? That is the next. How do you think the market is going to look tomorrow? Oh, I have no idea. Nobody knows how the market's going to look tomorrow because nobody knows if Trump's going to have a change of heart or change of something all of a sudden and decide to throw something on Twitter. So that's why as a technical trader, all we can do is just trade the charts. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, let alone tomorrow. Because a whole lot can happen from this moment until tomorrow. Especially when there's a president that loves that tweet button. I mean, truly, if he's just like, yeah, tariffs are gone, or I changed my mind on tariffs, I mean, the market is literally going to skyrocket. But if he's like, I'm doubling down, we're doing more tariffs, this and that, then, I mean, all the progress made today, I mean, could be gone just like that. Which is why at moments like this and why I like being a day trader anyways, tomorrow is like, might as well be like 10 years away from now. I'm just thinking, we're on the 2-minute time frame. Like, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen in the next 10 minutes? Are we going to get a push up through this level and get up to the next price target? So as a day trader, that's what I'm concerned about. So in other words, what do I think about the market tomorrow? Your guess is as good as mine. But as long as we can both agree that we're both guessing, then I think we're both being intellectually honest with ourselves. All right. Let me move this up to, because where I mentioned the target price potentially being right essentially there. So that's what's representing the pivot point over on the 5-minute. So we'll see if it can push up there or not. Again, if you're a scalper, then it's probably already made enough move for you to scalp on and out. But if you're someone that's like, nah, I'm not really a scalper, I want to give the thing a chance to move, well, here you go. All right, well, I'm not sure we're going to make it. We have 3 minutes to get 7 likes. So 3 minutes to get 7 likes or $15 in super chats. Carol, wait for the tweet. Yeah. But then it's, well, what's the tweet going to be? Bit of a pullback here. Go ahead and get rid of that line right there. Still very, like I said, that trend line right there. We'll see if it wants to come into play again. So right now I'm thinking the scalpers are like, I'm glad I played that on the scalp side of things. All right, we are looking like going to give that lower trend line a test again. Can it hold? Can she hold? So ES, I'm assuming a little bit of a pullback right now. Oh, ES, I think, yeah. Yeah, ES is much closer to its little resistance zone down here at these couple levels. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. Off that several times. Do you like my sound effects there? Boop, boop, boop. Well, so far the trend line held. Didn't hit it exactly, but it got close. All right, we have 1 minute to get either $15 super chats or 5 likes. If not, we'll call the party good. Any predictions for NVIDIA towards closing? Kelvin, are you day trading NVIDIA? Kelvin Wong, are you day trading NVIDIA? Calling short at 740. Well, are you calling short or are you getting short? Kelvin Wong asking about NVIDIA. Are you day trading NVIDIA? You are short again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where's your stop at? Where's your stop at? All right, we'll see if it can make a push back up. 820. Oh, okay, I see the logic behind that one. Your other one seemed very random to me, but I get the logic there. All right. All right, we'll trade. So basically 820 is right about there. Oops. So essentially if it goes over those highs. So it's hanging in there. We'll see if you can get that rollover, but you were a gutsy man to short before that trend line there was even broken. Gutsy. We'll see if it works out for you. $7.40. So right there is your entry point. So you are back in the green now. All right, here we go. Maybe you're about to get paid. Maybe those guts are going to pay off. But as of now, bouncing off that trend line. So you really hate that trend line right now. You're probably cursing at the screen at that trend line. Nope, market going up. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see if the market's going up. So we got somebody saying that it's going up. Somebody else said it's going down, and I'm short. All right. But that trend line right now is not your friend. You have patience. I'm glad you have patience. I'm just assuming you're probably not liking that trend line right now. Because if that fails, I think you're going to get paid nicely. But if it fails, becomes the big question. It's pushing down through there. All right, it's through. I think he's going to get paid. Next target, that green line right there, which is the 21 EMA. He's getting paid. My crosshair is his entry point. He's up over 90 points right now. Wait, 70 points, excuse me. Like I said, next target, that 21 EMA. Has it already hit it? Not technically, but I think we can agree it's pretty close. There we go. Hit. Good trade. Good trade. I'm assuming he's moving his stop loss down. My guess is like his stop loss is right there. Good. Hey, well done. Broke that trend line, and like I said, you got paid. Very well done. Well, I'm assuming he's taking. I guess I don't know. I don't know what his strategy is. Maybe he hasn't been paid yet, but it did make a very good move. All right. Well, we are. We're hanging in there strong. Okay, I kind of lost track of the time because I was waiting for... See, okay, here we go again. Okay, can somebody please solve this mystery for me? I had this happen already. Somebody shows up. They ask a question, and I immediately see it, and I start to interact with it. So the most recent one, Kelvin Wong. Like, any predictions for NVIDIA today? And then I immediately address it. I understand... Like, if I don't address something like for 5, 10, 15 minutes later, that's like, okay, well, I can see the person having left. But Kelvin Wong immediately says something. I immediately start to interact and gone. Like, I've never really, I don't really go to people's live streams, so I don't know but is it like part of live stream culture? And I ask this in pure genuineness. Is part of live stream culture, like you show up, you ask a question, you ask for something, and then you just disappear. Like you just leave the live stream. Is that kind of like to be expected? Because I've had this happen where, because it's not like the chat box, I'm getting a million chats every minute. I can see them. And like I've had several now since I've started. I've been doing this a little over 2 months now, where like I immediately address it, but then they never reply back. It's like they type and then they just leave. Is that, so my question, is that like part of live stream culture? Is it common like to just show up, ask a question, make a comment, and then just leave? Clay, do you see a lot of people coming to you from other stocks or CDFs? Did you trade something else before futures? I just showed up today. Can't be the only one. Yeah. You know, I back until November, my community, which has been around since 2013, has been telling me for many years now, Clay, do futures. And then the past couple years, hey, Clay, do futures through a prop firm. But I thought prop firms were kind of scammy, kind of sketchy sounding. But I've had enough members that I trust to kind of be the lab rats and to prove to me that no, prop firms that have been around a while, now the ones that just show up out of nowhere, I'd be skeptical. But the ones that have a track record, no, they're not scammy. They pay, and they've paid many times before. So that really softened me up to the prop firm world. But yeah, I finally decided to move into futures back in November, and then the prop firms, and I'm so upset at myself that I didn't do it sooner. Because it's, from a day trading standpoint, it's coming from somebody that's day traded options and day traded stocks for years. This is so much better. Oh, so much better. And then you throw in the prop firm dynamic and how it helps you manage risk. I mean, it's Pam's plant. Right here, Pam's plant. It's just so much better. It's just, again, in the category of day trading, all those other things, day trading stocks, day trading futures, day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading forex, day trading crypto. I mean, those things, they're truly garbage. They are garbage. And Pam's plant explains exactly why. Any of those other things from a day trading standpoint, again, I'm emphasizing day trading. If you're looking to invest or swing trade, then Pam's plant doesn't apply. But if you want to day trade, all those other things are such garbage. So yes, to answer your question for a moment, I have had a lot of people come to me from those other things. And right now I'm batting 100%. Literally everybody that came to me from other things and then trusted me and tried Pam's plant, they've come back and said, yeah, you were right, Clay. This is way better than what I was doing. For a minute, I felt the same way. Couldn't believe how low over. Yeah, exactly. So for a minute, yet another person that used to trade something else, and then he's given Pam's plant a try, and now he's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Signed up for Take Profit Trader, made 400. Good. Got 1,100 to go. Are you allowed to finish early? You have to do at least 5 days. But if you hit it in like 4 days, then the final day, just go and find a micro and then just buy and sell real quick for a flip. So either you'll make a couple bucks, lose a couple bucks, but that at least counts as a day, and then you'll be good. How often do you live stream? I've been live streaming very routinely now, every day at about 11 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes I'm a little earlier. I'm never late. I've never been late to one. And I try to pride myself in that because I got to set an example for my kids. Never, ever be late. But I may be early. So I say 11 a.m. Eastern, but if you show up at 11 a.m., I may have already been streaming for 10 minutes at that point. But I've never been late, yes, and I don't plan on it. Yeah, bots. I don't know. That didn't seem like a bot. So a bot's going to show up and say, any predictions for NVIDIA towards closing? That doesn't seem like a bot comment. No, that's not the culture. That's simply unfair and unprofessional. Yeah, yeah, it just seems very weird to me. Very weird to me. Like, I understand, like, the person's probably never going to reply. Well, then, okay, fair enough, because maybe a lot of people on live streams don't reply. But, like, then why did you even type the question in the first place? Like, if that's your thesis, they're not going to reply, then why type? Or maybe they'll reply. Well, then if that's your thesis, maybe they'll reply, so I'll give it a try anyways. Well, then I literally still replied. I replied to that one right away. So it's I don't know. It's very weird. It's very weird. Something that I'm still trying to figure out. All right, well, I'm not... Well, now... Does it come down here and then bounce? I think it's a bot too. Really? If you go to like 10 live chats and mention a stock, it gets people talking about the stock like you are doing now. Yeah, I'm still gonna go ahead and disagree. I don't think that's a bot because nobody was talking about Nvidia. If you go to like 10 live chat and mention a stock, it gets. Oh, I see what you're. Well, no, I disagree. Now I would agree if it was like a penny stock. So the logic there being, okay, let's pump this penny stock. Let's get some volume into this penny stock. So let's go pump it, right? But like Nvidia don't need any pumpers to move. It's Nvidia. So yeah, that's where I disagree there. If it was a penny stock or some sort of like weird like meme coin or like some sort of weird crypto, yeah, I could see that being a bot. But Nvidia? Now, Nvidia doesn't need any pumping. Like I assure you, a bot going to 10 live chat rooms talking about Nvidia is not going to cause Nvidia to break out. Nvidia is doing just fine on its own, doing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars every single day in volume. I'm curious if it wants to pull back here. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. Maybe we could set a record. Technically speaking, we're only like 5 likes away from a new record of a live stream. So if you have not hit the like button yet and you are enjoying, you can be part of a record-breaking stream here. Frank, done trading today. 1,506 on... Uh-oh. What size account, Frank? If those are $50,000 accounts, you made too much. Yeah, you made... Buddy, Frank, you made too much. Or is that just saying your total? Or is that how much you made today? Is 1,506 on one today and 1,511 today on the other? If that's what you made today in each one of those, on the one you need to lose $6, and the other one you need to lose $11. Because you have violated the consistency rule. Well, yeah, don't move the exit. Just lose a couple bucks real quick. All right, a bit of a pullback here. All right, well, we never hit 165. I went a little bit beyond anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and call it good. I am offering a webinar this Thursday, so if you're interested in learning more about the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, how I manage risk, all that stuff, you can check out the link right there. Like I said, that may or may not include a discount to join my private community. If you go with the yearly option, it may or may not include a coupon code built within the sign-up process. So like I said, just something to keep in mind. If you were to sign up for it, you may or may not get something like that, but it'll be this Thursday. And then if you do want to help support the channel and get into the world of Pam's Plant, prop firm trading with futures, then check out that link right there. That is a way to, like I said, help support the channel and gives you a discount, gives you a really good promotion. So that is all I have. Everybody that was here today, thank you. We had a good one. Record-setting stream, almost 3.5 hours. Didn't quite hit the record-setting likes, but that's all right. So, but everybody have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern at the very latest. So thank you for hanging out. Take care.